We're alive now, though. So
Ooh.
speaking of pettiness, that was our. So we got a little wrapped up talking about
It's the
that.
word
You
of the
know,
day.
yeah. The word of the day is, as you're going to bargain with the Raven Queen, petty. So just
Bargain?
keep.
You mean get imprisoned by?
Hey, you know what? We're playing to see what fun. Playing to see
Start
what
a
happens.
fist fight with?
Yeah, but
Someone else made this my problem, so now I'm gonna make it everyone's problem.
yeah. Listen,
Yup.
Zengi made saving the world your problem, and now you can be a bunch of petty jerks about it because
Also,
no one volunteered for this except Ritzel.
there, there's a lot of people in real life though that do that. Like somebody made this my problem, and now I'm gonna make it all of yours. So
It's a vibe.
just saying.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like, is vibe the word?
It's a
Personality disorder.
lifestyle
Not sure.
mantra.
Ugh.
No,
I'm gonna go with personality disorder because I think that fits best. But yeah, sure.
I don't know. You can view it in a positive light. Petty doesn't have to be bad. You know, if you
Does it?
yeah, the positive synonym to petty is detail oriented. So I'm just saying, like,
That's one interpretation, I suppose.
yeah. See, it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
a bad thing. Now it can be depending on how malicious you're being with your pettiness, but you know, sometimes people deserve it.
Can't
Can
Can't do
you use
optimists.
your
Gross.
pettiness in service of others?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Does it make it good? Tell me
She
I
had
need
it
to
good.
know.
two wrongs make a right.
No, but 3 lefts do.
No.
That's right.
Now it's well, damn it.
Well,
Got me there.
not right. That is correct. Never mind.
And right.
I see that. I see that.
No, it's good times, good times. Well, anybody else get snow today?
Flurries. I was trying to do my woodworking, and I was just like, you know what? It's not rain. And so I was just outside with table saw.
2 rights make an airplane.
I drove
That's
back
good.
up from Williamsburg, Virginia today, so it wasn't snowing down there. By the time I made it up back here, it was not snowing here either. So
Gotcha.
It is not snowing here.
Sean,
Yeah, I figured that wouldn't apply, but you know.
You know.
Hey, you never know. I didn't check the weather.
It snowed at altitude, like up in the Sierras. They got it. I got a picture from a former colleague who's at Mammoth right now skiing. So
Nice.
yeah.
Flurries, nothing stuck. Yeah, that was about what it was. Big old like honking, chonking flurries just coming down for a little bit. That was fun. Oh, man.
It was very pretty to see, like maybe around like 11 or 12 here in Philadelphia. Yeah, very pretty. Nothing stuck, and then the sun came out, and I'm like, but it is supposed to get colder. I guess winter is finally here.
I'll take cold if we get the snow. Otherwise, I'll just be sad.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
snow is different though. Out like in the countryside burbs. In the city, it just turns to like
gross.
Mush.
black.
Yeah.
You know, just
Yeah.
It gets
gray.
dirty real quick.
Yeah, the weird
Yep.
like gray slush. It's like all around the roads.
But
But
very
I-
few people look at it if it's just falling and then like not doing any damage. So
And the trouble with the
Well, and the
slush, though,
sound
is, like,
dampening effect is fun in the
That's
city.
true.
Like that's
Yeah.
that part is, especially when it's at night. Like, yeah, it has a liminal space feel to it that I love.
in
Joe, you were
fact,
talking
And
about
and miss, I haven't experienced this in a very long time, but yeah.
in fact, actually, I think I'm gonna have to look it up. I'm also not a doctor or a scientist. I'm an actor, but so take that with a grain of salt. I think snow, especially heavy snow, can actually increase your sense of smell. Somebody look that up in the comment and put it in the comments if I'm
Alright,
correct.
well,
on
Get in the
that.
comments.
I mean, you gave you gave me a
subscribe,
thing to toy
search.
with, and then you're like, I have to play a game. God damn it. Okay.
Here's a fun fact. Find out if it's true.
I'd say
Ah!
while you're checking that
It's
out,
like you gave me a chew toy, Joe. This is a terrible.
Is this true? The answer may surprise you.
The answer may
Yeah.
surprise. There's just an article about like snow and smell and a picture of me, and it says scientists hate him.
This one weird trick.
This
I would
one
click on that
weird
link.
trick to smell better in the snow.
Here's the important part: when we get the answer, we can't tell anyone the answer until we get donations. That's the important part.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, right.
We have to monetize knowledge.
I am willing to accept this condition, but I am looking it up now.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Now we're having a fun conversation about like minor curses that people have on them before stream started, and my minor curse is definitely if there's any snow obstruction in a like city area, I will step into the Narnia potholes. That is my curse. Like I'll be like, oh, this looks solid, and just like sink and then start swimming for my life. It has happened like every time, and I'm not a fan because then I'm just cold and I have a wet sock and it's all terrible.
I'm imagining
What's-
the
that
first
socks are a
D&D
curse.
movie, if you remember it, the first D&D movie, and like the way,
Oh, Jeremy Irons, hell yeah!
and then like you're like, this is not a trapped room, and like all we could afford was like mud that's painted. Is that okay? And they just fall into like mud, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm imagining that for you, but snow.
100%. We
Fun
actually
fact
did.
about the first D&D movie, the con that I went to this weekend, I paid for the party pack of just like goodies and stuff. And one of the things that was included was the first Dungeons and Dragons DVD. So I am now the proud owner of Dungeons and Dragons with Jeremy Irons.
Heck yeah.
Very nice.
That's where our follow gift came from. Was we all did like a community night sometime between last month and 4 years ago, where we watched the D&D.
I'm sorry, 2016 was 4 years ago, right?
That sure, I'll check. I'm not gonna check that.
It
now.
pretty
falls still
sure it
in
was
the like 4 years ago. Yeah,
Wasn't that
2020 was 10 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
right.
20.
Also that last year and 10 years ago. Yes.
Mhm.
I feel like 2018 was 2 years ago. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Check the comments. But yeah, that was the Jeremy Irons like I said follow me, where he's trying to like mind control the dragon, and then every time we get a follow, that's our little pop up. So everybody's
Oh, no.
seen it. We haven't had a new
Um,
follow on this stream for a minute. They keep
Yep.
showing up because I see our Twitch numbers going up, but like it's not happened live to me. So whoever's following, thank you, but your timing
Okay.
could be better.
Well, amongst other things, I have just found that climate change is changing the smell of snow, so this is a problem.
The problem.
For all of you tuning in, you thought you were going to get a Dungeons and Dragons session? No, you are just going to get our ramblings all night
Yeah,
long.
rambling.
Whatever comes into our heads.
Y'all started this. Now, like, yes.
All right.
It's where you quadruple down and be like, you believe in snow?
Do you believe
Okay.
in snow?
Only for the next few years.
I'm pretty sure that is a Hallmark movie song.
Do you believe in snow? All right, this is now an improv show where we're now going to sing the lyrics to
Don't get me started. I
Do
was
you
in
believe in snow?
improv, dude.
Here for you.
Start your vocal warm-ups, kids. All right.
Right? Those in the comments sing along.
Mistletoe, put it in a bow. Do you believe in snow?
I love it.
Coming
okay.
down fast, we better go. Do you believe in snow?
I'm picturing two different like vibes. Either one is like the above circling camera where the snow comes down and people are like in their scarves, like being like snow, and the other one is
Yeah,
just
no,
Glee.
this is like a MGM old movie musical. Yes, there's somebody like ascending from a bubble of snow in the middle that was actually filmed backwards. Yes.
Opening number, right?
Yeah. So we gotta have a showstopper though.
What's the other one then? You Andy, you said two
Yeah,
movies.
you said two.
Oh, the
What's the
second one
other
was just Glee.
Oakley.
Yeah.
Which is all Glee is just kind of an opening number, isn't it? I haven't watched it.
I've seen
It's High School Musical.
Yeah,
I've seen
but
that.
like also like problematic. There and given your curse, Joe, don't start watching.
Oh no! Oh yeah. So my other curse is if somebody says, "Hey, you should really watch this like show," I will inadvertently watch the first episode. Whatever episode I end up watching will be the worst one you could have started on. So I'll say this much and I'll stop. Evangelion.
Why stop now?
Okay.
Oh God.
Evangelion
Yeah.
I watched. They're like,
say
you
hi.
should really watch this, and I was like,
Say hi.
oh, it's on Adult Swim. I'll just kind of check it out. And there's this like, it'll just say like, do you believe in snow? And then like all this philosophical stuff, and then another question like, what is real? And like a bunch of scenes that didn't make sense. And then at the end, everybody's like, whatever the main character's name, they're like, great job, Senshi. Great
Oh,
job, Senshi. Great job, Senshi. And it was like a
That's-
philosophical battle. And I was like, what the fuck is going on?
that's hilarious because that's the finale episode.
What?
Good
What the
job.
hell was that?
Yeah, he watched the finale episode first by accident.
And it's the first episode I saw. And I told that to somebody, and he cackled for 4 minutes straight into tears. And I was like, but what happened? What was that? But now I know.
What is it? Good jobbing. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, back in
chat
like
day.
the days of having to download like off of, LimeWire or whatever, you could have downloaded something that you thought was the first episode and was not.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, that was an interesting series because it went from like super robot fights to like strange philosophical
Squeaks, come here.
stuff. I haven't watched it in ages, and I'm sure it didn't age well, but because there are some things in that series that are wild. But fun giant
If
robots.
we want to find out where it didn't age well, we make Joe watch it. Okay.
That's true.
No, I have to inadvertently watch it.
Oh,
It
okay.
has to happen
Sorry, I didn't
organically.
realize that there was pre-existing conditions to this. All right. Cool.
I'm just gonna roll a 1d26,
Prerequisite?
and like you can just watch that episode, and it'll probably be the most cursed one of all of them.
Mhm. And can I stream that if it's not gaming? Can I stream myself just reacting and going like, why?
I don't think React videos are a
Okay.
thing.
Snow does now have microplastics in it. Thank you for reminding me of that terrible fact. But it also might be easier to smell the smells of decaying biological matter, which is what I'm finding. So
yum.
it also smells different in different locations, which kind of makes sense in the same way that like petrichor smells different in different locations. But we should test this.
Okay, alrighty, okay.
All right, I'm gonna pitch this. You guys remember the movie Twister where they chased around like tornadoes? We just
Yes,
chased
we are.
snow-
Yes, like the
Yes.
smell of first, Charlie Brown Christmas, where it's like December snowflakes are not ripe yet. Maybe there's something to that.
Snow chasers. That's a working title.
Our
We all need to come up with a Captain
The
Planet
bl-
persona.
The Blizzard Bunnies, and then afterwards, buddies. I said, "Damn it, that's from a different
Did you?
conversation earlier."
Did you?
No.
I did.
No, we're buddies now. We're the snow buddies.
We're
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
We're
buddies?
snow buddies.
Our
Yeah.
tagline is, "Do you believe in snow?"
And Joe's doing the theme song. Okay, done.
All right. You know what? Hey,
I
it's
think
the next
Joe's
3
the
hours.
captain of the snow buddies.
Mhm.
Oh, Captain,
I
my
get to be
captain. You got my
treasurer.
vote.
No. Department of State. No.
Navigator. Let's go.
Good one.
Clearly,
Clearly, Quiz is weapons and ammo. Okay.
That's true. I like this. This is all coming together. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. For the next 3.5 hours, we're gonna make a YouTube video series about the snow bunnies.
Which is also going to probably then keyhole nicely into the next game that we decide to run. Maybe someone out there has made a system for Captain Planet, right?
Oh,
You know what?
That'd be great.
I bet you that's the Patreon content for Hasmus 2024 is the Snow Bunnies series that we have filmed throughout the year as we run across the globe chasing the various scents and wonders of snow.
Yep. It's all right. We're gonna uncover a global conspiracy about bottling it somehow. Yes.
Mhm.
All right.
We need a sponsor. Dairy Queen.
Uh,
Because they have blizzards.
it's right there in the
Right, and then
All right. Well, I guess we can play
great.
this game.
Snow absorbs pollution from gasoline exhaust.
Delicious.
That's part of why also to don't eat the snow, guys. No.
Yeah, let's.
You're not my real mom.
Not my real mom. You can't tell me what to do.
No, but I am a fantastic fake mother, so you know what?
Yeah, no, you're right. I
Is that-
can't argue.
So the Raven Queen.
And
The Raven.
There's also a fantastic.
speaking of fake mom, yeah.
Yeah, your Fami. Is it now? Is that a thing? That's a thing. That's a thing now.
Sure.
So it's just if it's funny or makes people sad, it's a thing, right? Is that there we go. So hey, we play games on the channel sometimes, and we fundraise for various causes. Because given our earlier conversation, you can see there are some slight complications with the world around us. We're trying to make it a little better place. So we're currently fundraising for Doctors Without Borders, and that's our new fundraiser that kicked in 2 weeks ago, something like that. It was at the start of the year, which feels like a very long time ago, but was really just 14
Exactly
calendar
2
days
weeks.
ago. Yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, all that to say, if you want to support them, please feel free to donate. The link pops up in the chat periodically, but you can also hit the bang donate, and that will pop up there. Not only does it support a good cause, but gives the players advantage tokens, which they can use
Very important.
throughout the game to not die. And did I key this correctly? I'm just typing shit into the chat right now. Hold on. But we'll see if they're actually keyed correctly this time. I just broke my computer.
I think we're
Right
doing
out.
perfect,
Anyway,
guys.
you know when you take a photo and it's that completely like high resolution, like blue and white imagery, or you've seen a horror movie, like that's what happened to my computer for a second. Then
Ooh,
it
spooky.
resolved, and I was like, oh, that's neat.
A
Anyway,
harbinger of things to come.
between our various side tangents, our heroes, the Neverwinter Nights, have been in the process of navigating their way through the Shadowfell to find a couple things. One, they're looking for an item called the God's Tear, which fell somewhere in Shar, right?
The Desolation of Shar.
Yes. After the Desolation, it was a pretty significant event, but Shar is also a very scary place due to the Desolation. It has instability, where you can easily find yourself wandering through various parts of the Shadowfell and into the material plane and back. So that's an item that our players are looking for. They're also missing a couple companions, a couple members of Odette's dance troupe, and Itzel's cousin Metzley have disappeared into the Shadowfell as well. Metzley, due to the acquisition of a powerful dark artifact that just took her, and the missing dance troupe members were last seen being dragged off into a portal to the Shadowfell through the Undying Realms.
By
So,
Skeksis.
I mean, who knows what they're called, right? The big vulture people. You did ID that correctly, because they don't get used enough. But our heroes battle their way and navigate their way to the Palace of Memories, the Raven Queen's hold. Fighting their way across the bridge, dealing with a variety of negative emotions that manifested in the physical form, that after they destroyed, the party's feeling a little better, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then proceeded, because they were invited, assuming they could cross the bridge without dying, into the castle itself. And we'll pick up there next week. So, as you all enter the castle, the moments before, you all linked hands in a moment of like inspiration as you're about to face down this mysterious and potentially helpful, but certainly dangerous entity. As you step through the threshold, you find yourselves isolated. Your companions to the left and right of you disappear. You find yourself alone in a room. Now, I rolled a d4. Bella, you get to start.
Okay.
Worth it just for the face.
Yep.
Just earmark that time for a future reaction emoji in the Discord.
100%. So, what was that, 36 minutes in approximately? Okay.
36 minutes in and we're finally getting to the game.
Well, there was a starting soon screen, and we had to talk about pettiness, and like, look, there are a lot of very important things we had to cover before we get to a game, honestly. But
So.
you emerge into a room. The room is softly lit from the glow of a large crackling fireplace on the other side. It has a very warm and soothing feeling to it, right? As you look around, there's this plush furniture, lavish, deep colors of like gold, red, black. And the air has an almost intoxicating scent to it. Reminds you of warm cinnamon. Kind of washes over you. And that is what you see as you stop and look around and realize that your companions are no longer with you. You turn around behind you. The door is gone, replaced by a ornate tapestry. What do you do?
I want to go investigate this tapestry.
Okay. As you're kind of wheeling around and looking at the room, the tapestry is fairly large and depicts a series of battles. And as you look closer, you actually start to recognize some of the art, right? You recognize these woven depictions of yourself and the rest of the party through various fights you've had. One of the corners is your fight out of Neverwinter as you were fighting these demons that tried to stall you in your escape. One of the fights depicted is the fight in the council at the for Lyra's night, trying to keep the council of Waterdeep safe, right? And just a whole collage of these battles that you were definitely at and occurred quite recently.
I was gonna say, like, I realize it's hard to recall IRL time versus game time, etc. But like, I would have thought that this is all happened in a matter of like a month or two, right?
The events of Veilbreakers from start to finish have occurred so far in about 25 days.
Yeah.
It has been like just a non-stop whirlwind of bad shit. Which is interesting that Bella notes that because the tapestry looks ancient. Well preserved and cared for, but it has that look and texture of something that has been lovingly preserved over the series of decades or longer. Something you'd see hanging in a museum behind climate controlled glass or something like that.
Um. I do not like this. And I am trying to figure out if there's anything I have that I can investigate. To see if there's something odd about this tapestry outside of the whole, like, fact that it's like they shouldn't have this stuff. I don't know. Do I have any recollection of time working differently in this plane where it's like where maybe time for us, what's happened in our material plane doesn't line up with how things happen here in this plane?
So time does work a little differently in the Shadowfell, but it's very closely attuned to the material plane. Similar to the ethereal plane, they are anchored to one another. So there could be a variant in perhaps minutes or hours. There have been tales of people spending like what they felt like was 2 or 3 days in the Shadowfell, only to come back a day later in real time. But there's never been a person goes in for Narnia time, then comes out in a different way. Those are other planes do that, but that's not a functionality that you're aware of the Shadowfell. So
Cool.
it's a very bizarre thing.
Oh, what a day!
Oh, heck.
What a lovely day!
I'm getting raided.
All right.
What's up, raiders? Welcome to the party. We're currently resolving our D&D's party, trying to make a bargain with the Raven Queen, as good old Bella, our warlock sorcerer here, is just discovering a lot of strange things in the room that she's been kind of isolated in.
All right. Let's do an Arcana check. Hell,
Get it.
That seems a good way to start this off, of trying to just like piece together what the fuck is going on. Oh, that would have been a good way to start if that hadn't rolled shit. That's gonna be a 14.
14.
No, you don't understand. I have a plus 11 Arcana. I rolled a 3. I rolled shit.
You should have rolled Owlbear. Probably wouldn't have helped you more.
No, don't roll an owlbear. We remember.
Yeah.
No,
we remember
Owlbear
last time, right?
only has a grudge against Itzel.
It's true.
I rolled fine at Owlbear.
It's true. I haven't found out if that curse is still holding or not yet. I'm going to test.
More curses.
I'm in the wrong. That's why everything's weird. I'm in the wrong Owlbear room. There we go.
This doesn't look like Veil Breakers.
No, there's a whole museum layout in this one. It's all crazy. So, a whole
The
different.
Raven Queen. You know what? You were just talking about how the tapestry looks like it's preserved, like it's in a museum. Maybe that's how the Raven Queen likes to keep her space.
That's
Maybe
true.
She's a collector.
How do you feel? I mean, how do you feel about a museum heist? But
Heist.
Positive.
Heist.
all right, cool. On a 14 Arcana, as you're looking around trying to process this, a couple things you notice. One, as you move around the room, it looks like there's something off with your vision, in the sense that normally you'd be able to see much further, but for some reason, due to the low light of just like this crackling fireplace, as you push forward, things seem to almost appear into view rather than having like weird silhouettes or shapes further out. The other thing you start to notice is that while there's bookshelves and tables and chairs, everything you could want to be comfortable in this room, there are no doors. And both those things seem like you might be in some sort of either illusion or magical environment that is messing with your perceptions.
Let's try dispel magic.
What would you like to dispel?
You said that I feel like this might be an illusion.
Mhm.
So I'm going to try to see if I can't.
Oh, you want to dispel the whole room?
If I can dispel the room, I'm going to dispel the room.
Hell yeah. All right. I need a DC 18 Arcana check from you, please.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
I believe that is
Your
what...
Arcana's high. As long as we do better than last time, you're going to be fine.
Yeah, just don't roll.
What's the worst that could happen?
Let me get
We make the Raven Queen kind of pissed off. which seems mildly inevitable anyway.
Yeah.
Yep. 18.
No, that's only going to be a 15. Don't make it.
Okay. You attempt to dispel this illusion around you. Or at least what you think is an illusion. As you channel magic, for a moment, the room actually just flickers out, right? The fire disappears, and you are left in kind of a cold, dark place that you honestly can't quite well perceive or describe, just because of the speed at which you blink out and back. But then immediately everything re-renders around you.
Yeah, Justin, fucking
fun.
grip
Oh.
it and rip it, baby.
There's a donation.
Slop that down, dude. Shit, yeah, dude. Crack one for the big boy.
Okay, why aren't you updating
Thank you,
like
Hex.
you should?
Thank you, Hex.
Oh, because you're reading the wrong thing. Why are you doing that? That's very silly.
Why are you being silly, Twitch?
No, thank you very much. As you attempt to make that spell, you do hear a voice, almost as if it's behind you. Just say, I'm making a note for the advantage. So you come all this way to get here, and the second you are uncomfortable, you attempt to leave? Did you not want a conversation?
I would not have taken isolating me in a room away from my compatriots and not showing yourself to be an indication that you wanted a conversation. Forgive me for misunderstanding your intentions.
Well, then perhaps it's time I introduce myself. And you see from the fire a entity just step out, wreathed in flames that start to shimmer in a golden hue with these blackened, almost shades or highlights that forms the silhouette of this person. And despite getting a little closer to you, the fire doesn't radiate heat, and proceeds to just glide towards you, illuminating little bits of the shadows around the room. She says, well, I believe introductions are in order.
I suspect you might know who I am, but I am Dulcibella Hargrave.
There's a nod from the creature. It says, and I'm the master of this domain. Please, sit.
Tell me, are my fellow travelers receiving your hospitality as well at this moment?
Of course. You were all invited. You all crossed the bridge willingly.
Then, is there any particular reason that we are receiving your hospitality separately?
I prefer to give any person brave or foolish enough to come to this place my full attention. I feel it would be a disservice to you to split my focus that way.
A disservice or an impediment to getting what you want from each of us?
Oh, I feel that we misunderstand each other. And the flaming creature looks around and says, if I'm not mistaken, this is my palace in my realm. You came to me. I was under the impression that you were looking for something. Is that not the case?
I really feel it's best, however, if you talk to us as a group, seeing as it is a collective request that we have traveled here for.
She sits on one of the chairs by the fire. The flames die down a bit to kind of a darker red embers, again with those blackened hues and silhouettes. And says, of course, you all have a collective goal. That's why you travel together, why you found each other in the first place. And I am more than happy to hear requests for my assistance. But just because you are a part of a whole does not rob you of individual wants or goals or desires. So what is it that you want?
I only came here to help get back Itzel's cousin and Odette's fellow dancers. I really think it's best if you talk to them.
Kind of chuckles a little bit, a couple sparks fly off like you're tossing another log onto the fire. Says, nothing else. You find yourself this deep in the Shadowfell. You find yourself on the course and kind of looks towards the tapestry that you're on, and you think there's nothing that you want for yourself? It's noble.
We want to stop Zangi, who we think might be a person that you also would be interested in stopping due to his previous slights against you. But I mean, that's still, again, if you talk to them, I think they can explain this all much better.
Zengi and I have our history, and if glanced at the tapestry again, you are truly up to the task of stopping him. Well, I'd be inclined to look at those requests very favorably. But at the there's truly nothing else. Well,
Any,
maybe I'll take what you said and speak to your companions.
I mean, anything I want is a minor matter and not something I would bother to ask of you. There's bigger things at play than anything I am personally looking for.
I feel you're mistaken. This is not an either or. You can have both.
I don't think I can't imagine it's in your power to give me what I want. No. You should talk to them.
What? Freedom?
What freedom? How?
Glances towards the tapestry of an image of Bella with her locket glowing brightly. Just says, means very.
I mean, no. I just because I want my memories back doesn't mean that I want to be rid of, my Gray. He's my brother.
Well, how fortunate for you that you're in a palace full of memories. I'm sure we can figure out something.
I still feel like you should really talk to Itzel and Odette first. Or even Valen. We came here with a goal, and it was to get our people back, and it was to get a way to defeat Zengi, and you are trying to distract me, and I'm on to you.
Well, let it never be said that I'm not one to listen to advice. I will speak with your companions and give you some time to reflect.
Good. Yes, yes, that is good. Yes, let's do that.
And she just in a
before
whirlwind.
You go, what's the deal with the tapestry?
As she gets up and turns to leave,
you can say she is already out the door, be like, no, we're not gonna answer that bullshit.
The door, please. No, she gets up. There's no doors here. Nice try.
You know what I mean.
And starts to fade away into the rest of the flame. And you say, "What's the deal with the tapestry?" And she stops and kind of reforms and says, well, the tapestry is a collage of important and terrible events and memories, as you well know, with deep history behind them. And I take great care to preserve those.
But it's not deep history. These all happened in just the last few weeks. That's not particularly deep history. How is it already a tapestry that seems to show this much age?
Well, things happen from my view in a slightly different progression. I feel that
not a
you're
real
viewing
answer.
history through the minds of someone locked in, well, it's not your fault, one stream of consciousness. And in terms of importance or value, well, yes, there are, of course, big things that have value and substance, but I feel personally it's the little things that truly matter, that add context. But to each their own, I suppose. And as you turn to, as she turns to leave and disappears in just a shower of sparks into the fire, leaving you again in this like cozy, warm room, you notice there's a small book on the table that has been left behind with a lock on the front of it. No
Oh,
key. But
that's just rude.
the book says the little things. The lives and times of Isabella Hargrave. As she vanishes.
Yeah, Bella gonna try to investigate that book. Hell yeah.
I will return to you
Yeah,
momentarily.
yeah, totally. But
Itzel. You walk through the doors to the Palace of Memory, through the darkness of the Shadowfell, the cold rain, the just grays and the hues of grays and black that have just created a very, very dreary sense of almost sorrow, sadness. Like it's a place that's draining to be in. It's like seasonal depression on 11. And have to shield your eyes as you emerge into an area just filled with bright light, plants, and running water. Above you, there seems to be like an odd glimmer in the light. And as you look a little closer, you see that you've kind of ended up in almost a terrarium that's been very well laid out, but it's got these beautiful, beautiful trees. Some simply some simply scenic, some filled with different fruits. You see kind of motion all around you as like little things pop their heads out, and then like scurry back into the underbrush at your arrival. And as of course you turn to look behind you, there's just vegetation. What do you do?
Take a deep breath. The I think like she's gonna know obviously that this is not like where she actually is, but there's that like still that like gratitude for the like smells of earth and plant and like living bits that are not rock and gray and so she's gonna like kneel down and like press her fingers into the soil and
Mhm.
like just take a minute of like this is fake but like I'm still gonna enjoy just a little bit of that like energy I have missed for a while. And but like let it just a moment, and then she'll like stand back up and start looking for like where our host might be. Um,
Go ahead and roll investigate.
okay. Okay, not terrible, friend. 15?
15. Yeah, you kind of take a moment, like you said, to enjoy the refreshing change of environment and begin to kind of poke around. Initially, you don't see anything, and you end up kind of close to the stream, where the water, just beautiful, clear, like icy blue water, just moving down this stream. Um, and as you're kind of trying to figure out what to do next, the water flow slows, and a series of ripples appear.
Sorry, the
Like-
first thing my brain went was beavers. Anyway, yeah, sure.
And a massive giga beaver emerges, and you fight it.
Yeah. And then we
What's that?
become friends. Okay. Sorry, the flow of the river slows.
And as if someone like just threw a handful of rocks into the water, just a bunch of ripples appear and begin to take the shape of a watery silhouette, and just stares back at you and says, "Welcome."
Thank you. I can see the care that was taken to make a place that would feel pleasant for me. And while I know I'm not actually in this, it still feels pleasantly like home.
You are a guest. I would prefer you to be comfortable.
Thank you. We come, though, not to tread on your hospitality so much as to beg your aid in a couple of matters, and that has to take precedence.
Well, straight to the point. I can appreciate that. Tell me, Itzel, what is it you're asking for?
We would like to know about the location of my dear cousin and the remaining members of the dance troupe of my companion Odette, and we would like safe passage to the Shadowfell should we have to come through again. Possibly also to bring fruit to our new friend, and also we'd like, if at all possible, any of your aid in the upcoming confrontation with Zengi. It is a list, I know, but these are the things that we might need for the battle ahead.
I respect the time you've taken to dwell upon the problems of the past and look forward. Well, I suppose I could be of help. but that is a rather long list. What of those requests are the most important to you?
Assistance in the battle against Sengi, whatever you can give us.
Not your cousin?
It breaks my heart to say it, but that is not what has to happen, and she knows that. As much as it would kill me, it's not the most important. No.
Not the most important to who?
To all of us, to the material plane, to the things we can read importance in the stars, to destiny, to I'm a tiny thing, and that is, if you ask me, the most important. That is by far what has to be first.
I do respect that. Well, let's say I could wave my hand and solve these problems for you. What does your future look like? No more Zanki, reunited with your cousin, everyone safe and sound. What does the future hold for you? Or have you not looked?
I think I've been afraid to consider the possibility that, or the unlikely possibility that I will survive this. And I haven't looked for just myself. That feels out of focus with the scope of the charge we've been laden with. I don't know. It'd be nice to hang around as a seagull for a while and steal some French fries from people, but
It's a burbling laugh.
that's about as far as I can imagine it. If we make it that far. The good crispy ones with like the vinegar on them.
Interesting restraint. I love new knowledge. And, well, I don't know if I would be able to stop myself from learning that kind of future. I'm impressed.
I don't want it to sound more noble than it is. I am absolutely afraid of the possibility of what happens if there isn't. If we fail, not just for me, but for everyone. So, as I appreciate your kind words, but it's cowardly, and I know that.
Well, you have a very long list of things you'd like. What is it that you have to offer?
I mean, I feel reasonably confident in speaking for all of us that if you had some way to help with Zangi, that we'd be willing to give up quite a bit in terms of knowledge. I think the best one to talk to would probably be Bella, maybe Odette with her Book of Shadows, but certainly all of our memories and things that we have gained along the way would be more than happy to share. We possess something you might either want unknown or want back. But
I get a curious ripple when you say it. I feel we could come to a very beneficial agreement between the two of us, of course. I have one more question for you, though. All those things you're asking are within my power. Some more difficult than others, but ultimately doable. Aiding you, helping to recover your friends, allowing safe passage. And more importantly, I am willing to help.
like, I'll give a little bow to the stream for that one.
The question I have for someone who is so selfless, if one of your friends, if their future was in danger, what would you be willing to trade to stop that?
I'd have to know what it was that they were sacrificing for. I think we know our mission.
In summary, we'll say themselves, but not in a physical way. Called a loss of, well, a loss of decision to drive the future, and instead simply just you watch a flower from one of the nearby trees hit the river and flow slowly past and simply be taken by the current. They would live, but they wouldn't, well, truly be alive in that sense. In the sense that decisions to face your own future, good or bad, by your own choices, well, something to ponder.
I guess I don't understand. You mean as a shell, devoid of soul, or just without the knowledge of their role in the grander play of the cosmos?
Without the luxury
One
of
might
choice.
even be a blessing.
No. The power of choice is ultimately the greatest gift anyone on the material plane can have. It is what separates so many fascinating things like yourself from the grander cosmos that run on rule and structure. Remove choice, well, you become another cog.
I think I understand your meaning now.
Death is honestly easier.
Or ignorance.
Well spoken. Well, something to ponder while I'm gone, perhaps. Please enjoy. This place is for you, so take a moment to enjoy the respite.
That is very kind and hospitable. I assume you have other conversations?
Of course. Oh, and I understand the caution which with you and your friends chose to approach. And allow me to be clear. The food here, the luxury here, the space to rest, that is a gift. I expect nothing in return.
And I will not be so rude as to refuse. Thank you.
The image just kind of starts to fade away as the water flow accelerates, and it is gone. And you are left in this bright, chirping, lively, green environment.
I think she's just gonna like walk, and like as she's like parting leaves and stuff, just kind of be like touching the green, like the just experience it, touching the grass. We're touching the grass.
It's touching the grass. It feels wonderful, honestly. After like even a couple days in the Shadowfell, feel like an eternity. Just because it is so dark, it is so cold, it is so depressing, it is so devoid of like positive anything that just the sunlight alone, 5 minutes in it, you feel amazing.
Like it's like she knows that this is a Palace of Memories thing, but it's like, once again, if it's a gift, at least for the next minute, we're gonna feel the grass. We're gonna smell some flowers. We're gonna find some mangoes.
Okay. Just grabbing all the fruit you can.
Yeah, right. It's probably gonna disappear as soon as I'm out of here, but for now, all right.
Very cool. And we fade away. To Valen. Same thing. You cross the threshold of the Palace of Memories, right? Out of the cold rain. Your friends disappear. You find yourself just standing at the edge of a very, very tall cliff, overlooking just in the distance this valley, right? Beautiful landscape, right? Between just the mountain ranges, the colors of the trees, the water, you can see a river slowly winding through in the distance. Nice breeze with very, very refreshing fresh air that goes by. And as you look back behind you, you actually see a door.
Okay.
As I just watching Victoria.
Sorry,
What the
why does Valen get a door? Why does Valen get a door? Sorry.
The rage flip, like, fuck you! I want a door.
Right now, what?
Doors are for winners.
Always be closing doors. I don't know.
Winners don't lose.
Put that initiative down.
Sorry, I know I was muted, but that was exactly what I said. Yes. Why does Valen get a door? Why does Valen get a door? Okay, playing favorites.
Turn around and this door, you recognize the build. It's actually something you've seen commonly in dwarven landscape, where you would build that basically into the greater dwarven tunnels, right?
Mhm.
Now, would it be this ornate and grand where you are right now? Maybe, depends on the dwarves, but usually they're buried a little further away. But this is a very like ornate dwarven rune carved door that would lead further into the mountain.
Okay. So this is feeling like home.
Mm-hmm. What does Valen do as he kind of adjusts to this new series of images that he's looking at?
Well, I'm looking around. I'm looking for my friends, who I'm assuming I don't see.
They've vanished somewhere.
I'm looking for Gruff.
Gruff would not be there. You sense Gruff is close because you can
I was
sense.
going to say, do I still have my telepathic connection to him?
You can sense Gruff is still within. Was it a mile?
A mile.
Yeah, you can sense Gruff is still somewhere close by and is like, you kind of check in with that, and Gruff is just like happily munching on some like hay and food, and you can just
so he's safe.
Yeah, you don't know where the hell he is, but he's just like tasty.
Okay. I'm going to try the door then.
Okay. Reach towards it. The runes glow, and a piece of the stone just slides open.
Okay. What's inside?
Inside is a small-looking, just dwarven room. Right, it's lit with torches, or there's the option for torches to be lit along the walls. Right, and just a very cozy. Call it a bedroom. It has a very cozy living area that you would see down in the Dwarven Mountains, right? Like there's lots of space by Dwarven standards here, but this is just well decorated, well cut stone, and very comfortable.
Okay. I'm going to go inside. Valen would have recognized that to get into this place, to cross the bridge, was a test for the group. So I'm assuming this is a test. That's just that is his next, like, this is what gods do. They love this shit. I swear to God. As a paladin, I can tell you.
Yeah.
So he's going to go in. He's going to make himself comfortable. He'll probably take a knee and pray, and just wait a few.
Okay. As you finish your prayers, there's a sound of rocks kind of grinding together as someone steps out of the wall, and they are simply just formed into this almost rock-like golem of humanoid silhouette, and it's two eyes, which are just these bright. It doesn't make any sense, but these like glowing onyx almost, just turn to look at you, and it says, "Welcome."
Using my divine sense, is this a celestial?
1 second.
I'm assuming the Raven Queen would be a god. I don't actually know that.
Yes, that pings immediately.
He would say, hello, is my lady Raven Queen?
Welcome, Valen.
Thank you. My Lord Tempest sends his regards.
The rock creature kind of just nods respectfully at that and says, "Oh, that's a name I haven't heard in quite some time. Don't see much of his presence down here. But still, there is respect."
Absolutely. Where are my friends?
It almost smiles. That's your like just second question out the gate. First question, really. And it just says, of course, your friends are safe. They are in very similar places to where you are now. Comfortable, cozy, and, well, enjoying some shelter from the greater Shadowfell.
Okay. Thank you for that. Why have you separated us?
Because I believe if someone is brave enough to take the time to travel to the Shadowfell, navigate its dangers, and make their way to my palace, that the focus, at least initially, should be on the individual. It should be a personalized interaction.
Okay.
You kind of came here as a group, and, well, should leave here as one as well. But I'm not interested in the feelings of the group so much as what makes this group what it is. I want to know you.
We have a very ambitious goal. We've come here related to that, bearing a gift, first of all, of knowledge that you may not be aware of. This may be something you already know, but we would like to offer it. Were you aware that Zengi has been giving away your true name as if it was a bubble?
Make an insight check real quick.
It's not bad. 14.
Bomb dropped.
14. It's hard to say, but you think for a second you feel like you see the stone figure just like shift. Almost like uncomfortably or a little more energetically. Up to this point, it had just simply stood there, but it shifted its weight a little bit. Very tiny movement, and it says, "And you offer this information freely.
This information is a gift for your hospitality. We would love you to do whatever that you would feel you should do to Zengi with this information. We might ask for other things later, but this is just for greeting us into your home." Who did he give the name to? I can't remember.
Orcus.
Orcus, because I haven't told her that part yet.
For a half second, I thought you were pondering that out loud to her. And I was like, dang.
That's what the
Yeah.
Whew.
I'm with you. And the stone figure just kind of smiles.
We might have some more information that would be useful to you, but there are things that we would like to request in return. There are deals we would like to make.
Well,
We should have several friends here that were taken against their will and brought to your realm. I don't know if you had anything to do with it. I'm not going to make any accusations, but we want them back.
That's certainly within my power. What else?
We also plan to pass through your realm to get to the desolation of Shar and would like your blessing.
Safe passage. Also something very much within my power. Okay. Now, beyond that, what do you want, Valen? Some noble goals. Important ones. Saving friends. Combating a very terrible threat to the Sword Coast.
And the rest of the world too, but yes. Sword Coast is our purview. I mean, these are friends for which I have taken a personal responsibility, so getting them back is very important to me, personally. I would also love to know who took them and brought them here, and why. Someone attacked Lady Alora's realm. Understandable. There was power there. She's made enemies. That's understandable. These people were not part of that. Why take them, and why take them here?
Those are good questions indeed. Well, I can give you answers. And from your gift, I would like to help. But there's nothing that you want. Asking for favors and safe passage and the rescuing of friends. Nothing for yourself.
I am greedy. This is what I ask for myself. Taking care of my friends is what I do.
Tempest chose well. Very well. I will consider your requests. In the time being, please be comfortable.
I would ask that you return Gruff to me. I would very much like his presence. Even if I cannot be with my friends, I would like my companion.
Granted. And you see there's like a weird as like Gruff kind of just like emerges from stone.
Hops on the wall.
Yeah. And like just looks around real confused. And then just continues to munch on this like comically oversized like bale of hay that he's just been eating. It's like,
nice.
Hi. And looks at Gruff and goes, I see why you like having him around. I shall return. And then turns
Thank you, my lady.
Steps into the wall. Last but not least, Odette.
Bonjour.
Across the threshold to the palace. Hands gripping tight the other hands of your companions, right?
So we don't get lost.
Very.
It is important.
Mm-hmm. After you just literally chucked your terrible emotions off of a bridge. And the weight and warmth of their hands disappears.
No.
And you are standing in darkness. And then a single source of light from above you flashes on. You feel it get a little warmer. And then look down and realize you're on a very ornately designed dance floor.
Of course.
And you kind of block and look at that light, and you can see the spotlight just shining down on you.
No pressure.
You can hear, but can't quite see the murmuring of what sounds like an audience. What do you do?
She smiles as easily as she's practiced a million times, and just catches her breath, and she says, "Thank you all for coming out tonight. You did not need to. Are any of my friends in the audience?" And she like comical, but like she seriously, like she can see in darkness, and she like her eyes like dart around to see if anybody is like
as you
tied
look
up in a chair.
As you look, you just see like the silhouette of an audience, right? Probably dozens, if not hundreds, of people. But trying to focus on an individual one just leaves them in this like kind of darkened silhouette. It's hard to identify features, but they all kind of like start to quiet down. You hear the noise of a band of an orchestra starting to warm up.
Does she recognize it? Like any of like the little tunes? What was that? It was like basically the Swan Lake song of Swan Lake for Lac de Lune. From dawn until dusk or something like that, I think.
Yep. Hear a few intro notes from that played.
She prepares herself because she is like, I'm probably like echoing something that Valen probably said around the fire, and perhaps even Itzel to a degree, maybe even Bella to a degree. Like, you know, Valen probably saying, the gods are always testing us. Just want to make sure you know. Everything could be a test. That could be a test. That bread could be a test. Itzel being just like be cautious. You know, the stars are watching. We are creatures of them now. Like, you know, just every decision counts. And Bella being just like, I feel like I'm always being watched. So taking, whereas like,
oh, new follower. Thank you.
Odette, hey, hell yeah. Odette,
talking about Jeremy Irons earlier, so
great.
That was the I said follow me, Jeremy Irons yelling at the dragon.
Odette, this is all very new to her. She's comfortable being in the spotlight. But she does feel like this is a test of sorts. So she like she doesn't do crowd work or anything like that, but she lets everybody know how thankful she is that they're there, that they could be anywhere else tonight. They could be dealing with anybody else, possibly. Maybe the Raven Queen is in the audience. But they chose to be here, and they chose to speak and to deal with us, I suppose, or see her. And I think if like the first sting of from dawn until dusk goes, she just like rote kind of like spins into motion. She goes over to where like the lake might be, and then like, you know, the sorrow that her love might have died, and it's so hard being the moon, am I right? And so like, and she begins to perform unless something stops her.
Got and roll performance.
I will. All right. There are a lot of. Being a shadow elf, I get to add an extra d4. May I guide myself in this?
I'll say yeah. You've had time to process the information around you.
Okay. Okay, not bad. That is. Sorry. 12. 17.
30. I want to say 30.
17 plus 16. Wait a second, I'm bad at math.
33.
33.
I said 31. I was close.
Very close.
Good guess.
She's done this before. I would argue she might even get advantage because she's done this before. But
You want to roll even higher?
we're doing.
A 33 wasn't enough for you?
It's never enough.
Roll with advantage.
Joe, they couldn't even count that high. Just
And I
saying.
couldn't even count that high.
Roll with advantage. I want to see if you can. Can you even break 40? Is that possible?
Being pretty. No,
Oh,
I
God.
argued for that, and I guess I'm gonna. Actually, so yeah, add 4 to that. So
37.
And there we go.
Good lord.
I got barred for a reason, and I decided to specialize in performance.
Man, expertise is a hell of a drug.
So she's doing her like arabesques. She's doing the floating like I think it's called like cloud leaps, where there's just those little tiny bounces where it's supposed to look like you're basically jumping off of clouds. And when it gets to the finale where like Cole is supposed to enter and like he's not dead after his character isn't dead after all, she looks to the wings and holds her breath.
As the finale music reaches a crescendo, you do see a spectral, almost ethereal silhouette move on to the dance floor to join you, taking Cole's place.
Odette like holds her fucking breath and like watches it, and seeing it's not Cole, right?
But it does know the blocking in the routine.
That's messed up. Then she then she opens her arms to it and falls forward.
Okay. Catch, spin, and land the final pose. The audience cheers. Because on a 37, that's a wild check, even dealing with the divine. That's just a really high number. A cheer, it just almost deafens you for a moment. And then slowly, from the front the silhouettes start to disappear. Until the applause is just left echoing and then fades.
She bows with whatever figure is there, and then and all the while she's like hand on hand, like what the hell does this feel like?
It feels like the hand has substance, but it feels like at any moment you could just pass through it.
Oh, like pushing at a hanging dress almost.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but it caught you. So, and as the audience fades away, and the two of you now are kind of left on this stage, the kind of ethereal silhouette gives you a respectful nod and says, divine performance. Certainly worthy of legacy. Well done.
That is far too kind. May I guess the Raven Queen.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Odette.
It is such an honor to finally meet you. And she like bows, like goes into like the deepest curtsy that she possibly can. And then she waits.
Oh, please, no. We are sharing this stage at the moment.
In more ways than one. I am very surprised, but very gracious. It has been too many days since I have been on stage. This is a gift.
She
and
kind of nods.
and I'm glad. It means the world to me that you enjoyed it, and you are obviously a fan, or else you would not have known the moves. Or have I said too much?
You have great talent, and any phenomenal piece of beauty I have archived.
She her
Love
hair
study it.
stands on end. Archived. That is most wise. But we should sit. And she takes her hand and moves to where a sitting area behind the stage would be. Probably.
Yeah, as you walk off stage, the curtains actually render a sitting area that would not match the area behind the stage at all, but a very comfortable almost parlor room sitting area emerges, and is happy to just walk with you, and then proceeds to sit. Says, I understand why you're here. You're here to ask for support for the performance of a lifetime.
It is much it is a grand thing, yes. Are my friends okay?
They're safe. What's more, they are in comfortable places.
She tries she knows she has to believe her, but she tries to read this queen right now.
Yeah, go ahead and roll insight if you like.
Okay. That's also a specialty of mine. So 18. That is 30.
Okay. Seems honest.
All right. She
A little
keeps her.
ominous, but honest about comfort.
Thank you for that. And she kind of unconsciously reaches over for where her wine is typically kept.
Wine appears.
Right. She offers to pour some for. She's surprised at first at the chill of the touch of the glass, and then offers this airy being. Well, would you like some? I know I'm just biding time, but let me have this, being mortal and all.
There's a moment where when you first offer, she looks like she's about to decline, and then just says, "Fair enough."
She pours her some, and kind of holds up, and she drinks it. She's already in the realm of death practically, so if this is how she goes out, it's fine.
This is poison. Yeah.
Right. I'd rather die on stage than anywhere else. So she says, "So you know that we are here to save the world, and you know me obviously through. I know that you have. I suspect you have had more dealings in my family than the Beauvoirs would let be known, or else Shadow would not have touched our lives. You, Lady Alora sends her regards. She thinks highly of you. I know you are neighbors.
Thank you for that. Hopefully she's doing well.
She, or like, violet eyes can like go a little downcast. She was caught unaware and guarding her incarnate by someone you probably know, Zingy, no?
I'm familiar with that name.
Yes. And we are here to ask for favors that only you can offer. If you decline, we will manage. We will do our best. But I would like to think that you know it is in your best interest to make sure that Zengi does not have his way and create more death than he need be.
I would like to help you and your friends. I am, after all, a supporter of the arts.
Supporter and preserver.
But is that all that you want?
She kind of like curls like a dark midnight lip, and she says, I have been in this play before. Wishes get you nowhere.
What about gifts?
Gifts are given freely. Certain things, trades come with prices.
This can be exchanged.
Yes, if they are of equal value, but what value can we put on a life? I would defer, obviously, to you in these matters, having greater experience than I. But if any of the people in the audience there were philosophers, I would gladly bring them up, and we would be here for hours, if not centuries, debating, does this equal that or that equal this?
Interesting quandaries. But
True.
I haven't heard anything that sounds like a decline of the offer.
A decline to the offer of safe passage through your realm and back in the desolation of Shar, so we can
Oh.
retrieve the God's Tear and save the world?
A decline to my offer to explore what you, Odette, want.
I could easily tell you 1,001 things that I want. Are you asking me to ask for them? And why would you want to give it to us? Safe passage is enough. Our friend, Metzley, we need to get her back too. My dance troupe, who would be going on right about now, she pretends to check like a pocket watch. They too are lost in your realm, taken by some vulture-esque creature. I can list all the things that I wish and that I want. Why would you give them to us? Unless it was for information? Perhaps
As you said,
knowledge of what Zengi is doing with your name and who he wishes to provide it to?
there's a pause at that. She says, We've traveled all this way and braved so many dangerous situations.
Oui.
I felt as though it was only polite to ask. If there's nothing that you need, well, I will, of course, it is within my power to grant help against Zanki, to grant you safe passage, to help you find your missing friends.
If I
If that's all you want, then I suppose we can begin that conversation.
do you think the thing that I purport to trade to you is worth more than what I am asking? I am unskilled in these matters, you know. I think it would be only fair if you told me. She takes her hand for a second, and she, like a two girlfriends speaking, you know.
Okay, yeah.
All right, like not like you're better, no, nothing like
Mhm.
that. But she says, "I know we have led different lives, we, but from what little I do know of you, I know that we are only similar in one respect, that we are both women who rose up from nothing but the shadow at our feet, and that men keep us small, and they try to keep us small forever. And I know you have fought against that, and that is why you are here. And that is why you are able to offer us so freely, exchanging gifts nonetheless. I would not want this to happen to anybody else. And seeing as grand a lady as you are, as powerful as you are, as gifted in dance as you are, I do not want to see that happen again to you. Not when you can fight for the world.
Throw me a persuade.
Yes.
That was a hell of a persuade.
Uh-oh. I rolled very low.
Would you like to use an advantage token?
I would like to ask for advantage. All right, let me see. Hell yeah. 18 plus 16. So we got
The 34.
yes.
Damn. It's a hell of a persuade.
And she ends by just saying, she's just like, I know you deal with secrets, I know you deal with death. But you hold a power that you can extend to so many other people. You are a candle, and a candle can light 1,000 candles without extinguishing itself. I will go through, I will tell you what I wish. But I fear you are in danger, and I think we can help.
Fascinating. I'm going to pause that scene there, actually, because that's a very interesting moment to stop. And I'm going to
I've
circle
seen
back
that
to...
poster.
I'm going to circle back to Bella, who's got this book of, the little things.
Well, of course, Bella is going to start
Just beating it on the desk.
It's like, what the fuck?
casually looking, checking it out, checking the lock, checking, not like hardcore committing to opening it, but I mean, she's curious.
We're all alone. Is Gray there?
Gray's not. Bella is
That alone
by
is a
herself.
luxury that you need to open this goddamn thing. Uncorrupted memories? Heck yes.
Yes.
Yeah, the book just sits there. The golden letters glittering from the close by firelight.
Maybe say please.
Shadows kind of slowly, almost look like they're like beckoning you towards it.
Oh, she's gonna walk right up to it and like pick it up and start like turning it over in her hand.
Okay. Yeah, you grab it. It is this very nice, very ornately bound leather book. As you try to mess with it, you realize very quickly, yeah, the lock is locked, right? Whatever the mechanism is, it is locked. But it has substance. It is not an illusion. At least if it is, it's on par with the illusion around you. But that seems like just an unnecessary thing to throw towards you. Call me a lie.
Ooh, it would probably be the height of discourtesy to try to lockpick this in the Raven Queen's house.
Feel free.
I mean, she said the room was a gift, and it's in the room. So.
She didn't say it to Bella.
Oh, oops, never mind. Don't do it. Valen was right. This is a test.
For Valen, all of these gifts for everybody. Bella's room, everybody else, poison everywhere.
Everything is awful. It's all a test.
Ah!
So, would you like to make a lockpicking check?
Before I do that, I'm just gonna casually look around the area in case like she also left the key, to be polite.
You do take a quick look around. You don't see a key.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to lockpick it.
Okay.
I can't resist.
It is a DC 15 lockpick check.
Okay.
I was serious about saying please, but whatever.
I do not hit it.
What you hit?
I got 8.
Okay.
Not like an epic fail, but very much not in like anywhere close.
I'll give you advantage because you have time. But then that's it for the rolls.
That's fair. That's more than fair.
Yeah, you've been left alone for a little bit, so you have the time to keep messing with it.
Aha! That's gonna end up being a 19.
Okay. It annoys you just how long it actually takes to get this thing open, right? Because as you're looking at, it's a lock on a book. It is not that complicated, right? But I think the stress of knowing that the Raven Queen could come back any second, combined with like where are your friends, combined with like all these things you're about to try to ask for, or these personal requests that the Raven Queen was asking about, like there's just a lot going through Bella's head, and that kind of slows you down. But finally, after a frustrating amount of time, you hear a click as the lock finally opens.
Cool. I'm just gonna slowly open to start thumbing through the pages.
Yeah. You open the book, start thumbing through the pages, and that bit of giddy excitement just melts away as you see just blank pages in front of you.
I was just about to post a gift of that. It's all right. I'll do it anyway.
You know what? Serves me right. Or like trying to get something for nothing, I guess.
You rolled a pretty. What was your Arcana coming in here? It's like a pretty high check, wasn't it?
Oh, it was only like a like 14 or 15 Arcana
Oh.
check at the beginning.
Go ahead and roll another Arcana check.
That Arcana check is going to be a 30.
Cool. You know that there are various magical items out there that contain information, power, weapons, what have you, that are sealed off by specific specific things, right? So even if you were to like access an armory per se and get it open without the right either command word or object, you could not see the things that were there. They would either be invisible or like unsummoned until there was something changed. So
Bait!
it could be that. It could also be an empty book that was used to fuck with you. But both are very real possibilities.
Just gonna slam it shut and just put it down on the table and just sort of like walk off in a huff to start looking around the rest of the room.
As you like slam the book shut, and you're like, and as Itzel, you're like just grabbing another tree's worth of mangoes that you're like putting into your pack. Valen is, you and Gruff are just, Gruff kind of is like, has walked around and laid down in a corner, and you've actually just found a little bit of comfort in this very homey space. And Det, as you make that speech to the Raven Queen, that ethereal silhouette just looks at you and says, I think you're all ready.
I'm ready.
And the four of you are very quickly, it's not painful, but it's like the top of a roller coaster dropping, right? I have that sensation, and then the four of you are sat at a table across from an image of a woman who it swirls and changes, right? With just shadow and light. At times, the image forms strange bat wings, and they dissolve. The image grows a little larger and resembles something more of a like Goliath or Gollum type creature, and then shrinks back down, and then
Bat wings, not raven wings. Bat wings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Almost elongates, right, and becomes just this like almost wide-sitting creature, and then shifts again to the point where every few moments there is a new thing in front of you, and describing it as one consistent image or thing would be near impossible. And the Raven Queen looks at the four of you, five of you, and says, well, we've had our pleasantries and introductions. Let's talk about what it is you want.
Odette,
And
like,
we'll take a quick
touches
break.
everybody's
Here.
hand.
I'm so sorry. We'll take a quick break here as I keep killing Joe. Like, friends! Cool. All right, so I've
Do
got...
I
I
had to
still-
see you all. I had faith that you guys could get through this. I trusted in you.
Do I still have fruit in my pockets?
You do.
I still have wine in my hand.
You do.
Say, did I get any food at all?
There was food there.
Oh, good.
Rocks.
So I didn't describe that, but there was like food and comfortable things there. So there's like nice hearty stews and like a
Breakfast
couple,
beer.
yeah, like
Yeah.
nice coffee stouts and everything like that.
Was there a nice library set of like brandy or something in a bottle that I could have just like
Just grab that on the way out.
exactly?
Yeah, yeah. You got like a nice decanter of brandy and like this book in your other hand, and you're like, okay, I don't know, let's just drink about it.
Warm port.
Delicious.
Just pour it on the book and
Yeah.
We'll be back in about 10 minutes, so don't go anywhere. We are back live to see what happens. Oh, I like that little like the magic has emoji in the chat. I appreciate that. Just the flaming or purple flames of power. So, after a personalized introduction to the Neverwinter Nights, all 4.5 of them, they've now been gathered
The
together.
half is because Valen is shorter than Gruff, right?
Oh, I was just counting Gruff as the half, but I like that better.
All y'all are short. I'm the only tall one.
I think if Valen and Gruff are all.
I have a perfectly average height.
Excuse me.
I think I'm 5'0".
Tiny but fierce. But the Raven Queen, after greeting all of you personally, has now gathered you in a great hall and sits at the head of this table with two of you on either side. And as I said, her form shifts again, right? This time growing what looks like angelic wings from the shadow. And then fade away and elongate into like a coiled tail and then fades away. She says, well, I've had a chance to meet all of you personally. And get to know you a little bit. It's always different from, well, seeing the threads versus meeting the person, right?
I hope we are all that you hoped, and more.
We certainly left an impression. Now, from what I understand, there are some things that you want my help with. The recovery of your friends, right? Both your missing dance troupe members and Itzel, your cousin. Safe passage through the Shadowfell in pursuit of your goals. And help dealing with Zengi and his future plans. And perhaps a few other things that are yet to be decided.
Although I hope giving you the information that Zengi has been throwing your real name around has at least given you some enticement to join that one of your own free will.
I do have more questions about that.
And we have more answers if you are able to, as you said, a gift for a gift.
Bella, make a perception check.
The first bit of knowledge was a gift. After that, we must bargain.
Oh Jesus! I rolled a nat 1.
Oh, don't laugh.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a total of 6.
Do you want to use a point of
hey, guys,
inspiration?
I feel like an
Want me
advantage
to-
point is.
Yeah, want me to use an advantage
Yes, I
point?
do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do it.
This will bring us back to 5.
Back to 5. Which the sheet's updating, but the counter
Oh,
is not.
it was worth it. I just rolled a nat 20, so that makes that a 25.
Always.
There you go.
Love it when advantage works out in exactly the way it's supposed to.
You see, as the Raven Queen says, and perhaps some other bargains as well. There's a moment where the shadows shift around her, and for a second, there is a shadowed silhouette of a chain with a key on it. And she looks directly at you as she says that, before her form shifts again. Now, I suppose it would be unfair of me to, well, not return a...
Yeah, Justin,
had
fucking
fun.
grip it, baby.
Back to 6.
Slop that down, dude. Shit, yeah, dude. Crack one for the big boy.
I appreciate you taking away having to change the counter. Also the donation. No, thank you.
But more importantly, letting Andy avoid having to do work. Like,
That's the one. So, who wants to do work, right? Like, God, it's terrible.
I mean, yes.
yes.
Right?
No, we're not going to argue that point.
Yeah. Like,
Look, one of these days, we'll go viral.
if you throw out the like nobody wants to work anymore, I quit right here. But yes.
No, it's very simple. One of these days, we go viral, right? And we make our own show, like Dimension 20. Then all we do is play D&D. And life is good.
Step 3, profit.
Yeah. Step
Question
3,
mark,
profit.
question mark, question mark.
Question mark, question mark.
Yeah.
Is the studio based in LA? Are we doing it East Coast?
Now, we'll do what they do with Dimension 20 and just fly everyone in for a very hectic 3 weeks, film the entire season on no sleep at night, and then fly out.
I love it.
If you read the behind the scenes for Kind of Candy, it was hectic when they were trying to film that. It was very fun. But
That's fine. As current LA resident, we're not basing it here.
easy enough.
Okay,
Nope.
so East Coast.
Veto.
You know what? Why build?
It could be elsewhere. I just don't want it here.
We'll expense it to corporate. We'll get like a mountaintop chalet or chateau or some
Okay. Yeah.
nonsense.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Switzerland's great this time of year.
mountaintop shillelagh, you know. But Raven Queen says to Valen, I do appreciate your gift. Tax write-off. And
If billionaires can do it, so can we.
Rules are rules, laws are laws.
Precedent now exists. Private jet to Aspen is, somebody else has already used that one. Not a loophole anymore.
there we go. But she says, well, I've gifted the 4 of you with comfort and hospitality. Valen, you gifted me with something very interesting. And as such, I do feel I'd like to offer you something else. It's a simple thing, but still. Itzel, your cousin is alive and well, and I do know where she is. Valen did say the most important thing to him was taking care of his friends, and I want you to know that, well, those around you are safe. Same for your dance troupe, Odette. They're alive and well.
That is a relief to hear.
Now, what is it you... What is it you know? Sorry, that's me thinking poorly. You said Zengi has acquired some very powerful information. I would like to know who he is sharing that with and how you came upon it. What would you feel is a fair exchange for that?
I feel like that's a very nice opening point, and I do feel like Metzley would be fair to exchange for that. Safe and in person here.
Yeah, you
Ready
said
to
that
go
you
with
know
us when we leave.
where she is. Is she not in the Shadowfell?
I am not able to bring her here, but I can take you to her.
All right, that's about as enigmatic an answer as I should have expected. Okay, yes.
That seems fair.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Will we be able to leave wherever that is?
That'll be up to you. It is dangerous.
Yeah, it's Tuesday.
But I will do nothing to stop you from leaving.
Okay. Does that seem fair?
If we share this with you, who Zengi has been sharing your name with, that would be worth Metzley, Itzel's cousin. Is that what I am hearing? And that you could take us to her.
You're worth safe passage for the four of you to be reunited with Metzley, and the assurance that I will not interfere with anything that happens after you leave that, as you leave that place.
Are they with the downstairs?
They are not.
I see.
I will tell you that this is a trade we are willing to make for the information of who Zengi has given the name to. The second half of your question, how we know that, is part of a larger deal that we need to make.
It seems very respectable. You could be a businessman, Valen.
I accept.
Talking with gods it takes practice. You get used to things.
I kind of like look at everybody and I like nod if everybody else is into it.
Itzel's not opening her mouth. If Valen's going to take the lead on this, no, rock on. Yeah.
Like I feel like it would be useful to have like the psychic.
I don't know
connection so
how
we
to
could
do this
chat,
part.
but
Yeah.
I also don't
know.
trust that she wouldn't just hear that because we're in her realm. This deal seems acceptable to us. Yes.
She says, I accept.
All right. I literally already forgot again. Who did he give the name to?
Orcus.
Orcus, yeah.
Zengi gave your true name to Orcus.
You see for a moment the shifting kind of just pauses.
That motherfucker.
And then just continues and then resumes. Fascinating. Oh. And so your cousin Metzley
He's gonna be like, she's at home.
made it home safe now. Has been navigating the Shadowfell for the last week. And it seemed in desperate pursuit not to get out, but to find something. Well, at this moment, she is deep in the heart of Shar. Very dangerous place.
So when you said that she was safe,
She is, for now.
At this exact moment, she's at a campfire reading a book.
I mean to do her no harm. But there are things in the Shadowfell that, well, I can't be everywhere at once. She is safe. She has been for her time here. She's been alone. Afraid, but safe from physical harm.
so she's no longer in your realm.
Oh, she is.
The Desolation of Shar is in Faerun, isn't it?
So, it is.
Like
Shar is a physical place in Faerun. One of the things that occurred during the Desolation was it just absolutely eradicated planar barriers, right? That's why a lot of people are afraid to travel to Shar because they don't end up in the right places. They slip into other planes like the Shadowfell. That was one of the options you guys had to like get into the Shadowfell was through Shar.
Okay. So is she saying that Shar is also technically her realm, or is there a mirror of Shar in her realm and that's where Metzley is?
They exist
or she's in like a border place.
They effectively exist simultaneously. It's like, you know what, the best way to describe it is like the ways from Dresden, where there are certain places where there's an exact replica of what's on one side and then what's on the other. And then there's certain places in between where it is nebulous and strange. But at this point, it is pointing to she's in Shar, still trapped in the Shadowfell.
So we had originally, one of the things that we had requested was safe passage through your realm to the Desolation of Shar.
I'm back.
And back.
Oh, yeah, Itzel will say that. And back. Yeah.
Okay. And you were offering us to take us to Metzley. Would we be able to get from there to all the way to the Desolation of Shar, that last little bit?
Oh, she's in the heart of it.
So yes. Okay. Would we be able to get that return passage? Or at least safe passage through your realm as we return?
I can guarantee safe passage as you return. If you wish me to have you escorted, that would require a bit more.
Okay, no, I'm okay with safe
I'm
passage.
fine with
through
safe
her
passage.
realm. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Escorts. Meh.
All right. So that takes care of 2 of our bucket list items, so that's good.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Irene,
Now,
out of character question.
Mhm.
Because as I looked at my notes, I realized that the way we found out about it, about knowing how Zangi knows what's happening, is that one, he's making a pact with Orcus. I feel like that's important information. I'm just
Yes.
putting this out on the table
Yep.
for everybody. Also, he shared that information with Gray. I don't want to put... So Gray potentially might know it too. I don't want to put a target on Gray's back, especially with Bella involved. But Bella, great news. We have a patron sitting here just waiting in the way.
I did not remember that was a thing.
Also, the fact that he made a pact with Orcus isn't how we know, right? So that's
I was going to check with you all what I had planned to offer to try to get our friends out was that we had gotten access to a memory of Zangief's telling Orcus, and that's how we knew.
I think that's worth it.
And that segues into the big one, that we know her true name, and we're willing to bargain away that memory in exchange for the big one helping us fight Zangief.
Mm-hmm. I think that is fair.
Okay.
And calling it a memory doesn't necessarily immediately name Gray, or the fact that there's pact.
And it doesn't bring up the book. Because her finding out that Zangief's memories are in the book is not something we want to tell her.
Well, something has been basically trying to pry open the book the entire time we've been here. So, might be her.
Curiosity is not something we want to indulge.
It'd be crazy to see someone like try to pry open a book to get knowledge they wanted. Like, could you imagine if someone would just like present it with knowledge and then didn't try to get it?
But here's the other thing. We also, we don't know this, but Bella knows it. There's a key to a special book where Bella could just have her own memories back. But each one of us knows the true name. Each of us could make a deal.
It's true.
Wholesale.
Mm-hmm.
And
do we want to go that way? Do we want to each individually bargain away the memory of her name? I was going to offer it as a collective because, as she's already said, taking on Zangief is a monumental task. I.e., having her join the fight for Zangief would be a monumental task. That's why I was going to offer her the big gold bar. But do we want to do this separately?
Well, we could offer it separately and then be like, but all of us know it, why not lump sum?
I'll offer it. If she wants to haggle, I'll offer mine.
Unless we discuss this ahead of time also this is all we don't know this.
I'm just saying, I'm working out what would we think. And I would say that Valen will offer his memory of it. And if she has to haggle, he's not even going to bring up that everybody else knows. This is an individual challenge.
But I'm only having this conversation because I want to know what we know and how we know it. So
confirming.
What did we know again? I did not remember that Gray knew.
Gray,
I would have felt better not knowing that.
Well, Odette knows, and it's too bad we're not going to metagame, so it's fine.
Yeah. That's fair.
All right. Okay.
We're not going to metagame? Right. Was that not? Okay.
Well, you guys, I know this, and I guess you guys don't know this, unless you figured out, when I explained that, he was having a conversation with Gray about this, and this is the name and where it is.
Nope. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so back to what we were doing, and see. Valen would say, now for the next part, going to tell you some things that you might not be happy with, and I want you to accept that this information is offered in good faith, and it is not in any way against you.
Like a head tilt at that.
Yeah, no. She could get real pissed at what I'm about to say. Yeah.
Yeah, but we need to offer the thing. I would say.
I was going to say, and Valen looks to the rest of you as he's saying this. If anybody wants to stop him, but
Odette reason she's like, this is in exchange for the dancers safely returned.
Well, the reason that we know that Zangief did this is something we're willing to trade for our friend's return. The dancers, who I believe are in your realm.
They are. I'd be happy to return them to you.
Okay. Bring here to us in this room and allow to leave with us when we go.
Of course, they can be here within the hour.
Okay. And the reason that we know this information is because we obtained access to a memory of Zangiz, where he told this information to Orcus.
And
I will.
where did you come across such a memory? And when she says the word memory, it like resonates through the whole
She
palace.
loves them.
That's a separate question.
And there is also a reason that he wished to share your name with Orcus. That is another bit of information we are happy to give you.
Don't want pineapple.
If you wish to know.
This is Sprite. She has mittens.
She pulls up another cat. This is Mittens. He has a Sprite.
The other one is Squeaks, and she was sleeping on my lap earlier, but now she's having a bath in the igloo. These are totally normal words. I don't know.
No one's judging.
She says, that knowledge does intrigue me.
Odette thinks for a minute, and she says, "Is there anything else that any of you want?"
I would like to know the identity of the person who took the dancers and why they were brought here. And where I can find them to punch them in the face.
I would want to actually gain what should be in this book, and she holds up the book of memories of Bella Hargrave, which I suspect requires the key you are wearing around your neck.
Bella.
Oh, most astute. She looks at Itzel and Odette. Well, if you're all naming things you want,
I mean,
seems that you feel more comfortable doing so in person or in a group, but still.
I would love to have General Kozan Azulana back to life and learn
Hell yeah!
the Grand Jet Azulana from him. He was taken too soon. But I also know that I am a dancer that is reincarnated as the mantle of the muse. I've been doing this for 25 days. I've never really had a cause to fight for, nor a weapon to use it. Everything that I feel like I've picked up has been slipshod, handed to me by a props master, picked up from a dirty dungeon, cast-offs, bought used. If I had... I am not saying the Grand Jet Azulana itself. A move that is legendary would help me save the world. But if I had something to call my own, even a banner to show your influence in the world, that would be helpful. Although I do miss my mentor. And she kind of like pats the music box.
And Itzel.
This is the first and most important piece that we need to do. Um, we need help in the upcoming battle. However, we can manage that. That has to be first.
She sits there for a moment, and then you see out of the shadowy mist, a raven flies off. And like through the wall out of the keep. She says, I will grant each request you have all asked. Give you the key to your book, Bella, and I assure you there will be text inside when you use it. Valen, I will let you personally confront the one who took your friends. Odette, I can give you a banner to fight under that will change the world. That's all. I can help you and your friends in this coming conflict. And her eyes kind of settle back on Odette. She says, I'll do it for one simple thing.
Name it.
A small tome that you carry.
This has been in my family for generations. This is, the origin of it?
I know the origin and the path it's traveled. I know who's held it. I know how they've used it. But what I do not know is what's inside of it. And I wish to possess that knowledge. That's my offer. I'll grant 4 favors for one dusty old tome.
My lady, this is how I perform. This is how I learned how to shadow dance. This is what gives me power. It has also gotten us out of a bind or two, I won't lie.
Fun.
It's quality. Well,
she looks
do you
devout.
have anything else worth that price?
I do have a counter offer. I'm going to give you some information that might make you unhappy.
Okay.
She like tilts her head even more. Like
the act of learning what Zengi gave away means that I know your true name as well.
Her eyes flash with like a hint of anger.
What I am offering to you is this knowledge. I am offering you the ability to take it from my mind so that I will not know it anymore.
Safely, mind you.
Safely.
No ice picks. Yep.
This is not a threat. I am not offering to do anything with this name, but I am offering a trade to give it to you. I'll be like, we got you by the short and curlies. No.
There's just dead silence as you say that, and she sits there and ponders, shadow still shifting slowly.
The upper hand of this argument has changed.
It's about to get worse.
No god likes to be forced into anything. If we make her do something, she gonna be mad about it.
Oh hell yeah, 9 p.m. espresso, get it.
I was thinking about making a cup of tea. It's a fucking 3-day weekend. Tomorrow's a holiday.
Oh, we can go late, baby. Let's go midnight to midnight. No, we're not gonna do that. I know people.
I will not make it till midnight. I am doing that thing where you're like concentrating so hard that all you're actually concentrating on is the act of concentrating.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at that level at the moment.
How is your chest?
It's fine as long as I don't
Okay.
do things like breathe too deeply. So we're
I
good.
promise that's a
As long as I don't do
relevant
things like
question.
breathe. Yeah.
Too deeply. As long as I keep just shallow breaths, we're fine.
Yeah. Like, hey Jen, how's your chest doing? Yeah.
I was like, for those who do not have context for this is an actually empathetic question.
Rouge done injured herself at a con.
Oh. Is that not a standard greeting?
Rouge done injured herself by being sick. Like it's
Don't
Don't make her laugh. Don't make her laugh.
That's like a solid 2000s greeting. Like, yo, dog has it hanging. What's up, babe? How's your chest?
Yeah,
Like, is that not a thing?
That was a thing.
You know
Yeah.
what? That's the sad part is that's gonna be clipped now in like a 3-second audio, and I'm just gonna be fired from somewhere. I don't know. But yes, I am glad you're not dying.
Good.
She pauses and contemplates this and says, "So, knowledge of my own name given back to me in exchange for your requests." What assurance do I have that you won't simply go back to the source and relearn it?
Can we
I give you my
that
word.
particular memory?
I'm willing to offer the memory of how I learned it.
I guess Bella's going to cast message and just like directly to Odette ask, is it possible to remove that memory and give her the original from the book so that we can't access it again?
Does message still have like a one-way vocal component though?
Traditionally, yes.
Yeah.
Well, traditionally we'd be able to message and answer back, and it would not be heard by others.
Traditionally, I hear you say.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what her response is. I kept being like, well, I could also offer it. Now I'm like, hold on, let's negotiating. Let's wait to see how she responds to this.
I mean, the way it's written is you point your finger toward a creature within range and whisper a message. The target,
Yeah,
and
so the
only
whisper,
target
I guess, was what
hears
I
the
was-
message
Mhm.
and can reply.
Only
in
the
which
target.
Only you can hear.
Correct.
Okay.
That is how that spell works 95% of the time. I'm drawing attention to the fact that you are in a god's domain.
God's realm. Yeah.
So
presence.
It could very much work that way. There's a possibility that there's more power here than you're aware of. I'm not saying one way or another. I'm just saying that's something to think about.
It's fucking bullshit, man. Okay.
Okay, so
She
exactly.
could not.
Would you mind repeating what you said?
So
I know how to. Oh, not you. I'm sorry, Rouge.
oh, okay.
Yeah, get out of here, Andy. Sorry.
This doesn't concern you.
All right, good night, everybody.
But it kind of like turns a little bit.
It was, can we remove an individual memory from the book to give to
You might have to have a conversation with the curator about that.
He,
like, is it possible?
she says, it's more complex than you think.
Okay. So Valen's offer was that he would give you both the knowledge and how he got the knowledge so that he wouldn't even know to get it again.
Mm-hmm. And you offered your word that you would not go back and relearn.
Correct.
As
yes.
Well.
And as a chosen disciple of Tempest, you know who to talk to if I was to fuck that up.
That does mean something very significant coming from a paladin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you break a word or bond to another deity, and they're going to make some phone calls to your manager.
Yeah. So we're going to have to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ponders that. So what about the rest of you? You know,
Meaning,
trade knowledge of my name, but what's to stop you from learning it again?
we will give you our word.
What was that?
I also
Crash.
assume that
Someone's animal.
you're not going to let it be public information again. Like, the...
We will also give our word. For those of us who worship gods, you can hold us to them. We would have to answer to both of you. I think that would be fair.
Itzel, Bella?
I would assume that you will guard your name from now on in a way that means I would not be privy to it ever again. Also, I don't know what I would do with it. If you have a way of making it so that I can't recognize it again, like if hearing the words would mean that it would either wouldn't be heard at all or wouldn't be perceived as a name.
Bella?
I would do the same as Itzel, I guess. I certainly would be open to any method you have that would prevent me from recognizing it again, should I ever hear it.
All right, so I'm tracking. Y'all are going to trade these names, this knowledge of her name, Valen for a chance to confront who took the dancers, Odette for a weapon or banner to fight under, Bella for the key to your memories, and Itzel for aid from the Raven Queen in the fight against Zangi. Do I have that correct?
Yeah, maybe throw in like the resurrection of General Azalana, maybe for like. Just
I don't have that on the list.
Good faith. It's a good faith thing.
I mean, just throwing it out there. Which spell could do that? Anyway, so
It's true.
that's true. So she leans back and just says, "I accept."
So this is, to be
ev-
clear, this is the information instead of Odette's book. Odette's
Correct.
book is off the table.
Yep, everything I just summarized in exchange for your knowledge of her names. The room swirls.
Hold on. Before we. It's our knowledge of her name, so she's not taking the memory from the book, or that there's
Correct.
a pact with Orcus?
Correct. She did
Correct.
not get that.
Mhm.
She's getting our memories.
The pact is useless if you don't know the name.
Yes, but
The
fact that there is one is probably
the fact that he made a pact with Orcus is information that we can give her to exchange for something or as a token of our thanks.
Yeah.
And
The room.
so she now knows that we all know her name.
Yes.
The room swirls with shadow. Immediately, you were all thrown into a bizarre, dark place where you're not able to tell up from down. And you watch as this image of you learning her true name is displayed in front of you, and then is simply shattered into a million tiny spectral pieces and is just incinerated by a flame below. And a strange glyph that seems to have these, you could almost describe as wings coming off from the end, burned into your mind in that spot.
Yay.
And you are back in your chairs. The memory of her name erased entirely from your mind. And even Odette, as you start to think back towards the book and where it came from, those thoughts just slide away. They just fall into sand and slide through your fingers. They
Like
cannot...
tears in rain.
Like tears in rain. Ooh, what a good movie. Let's watch Blade Runner. Let's watch Blade Runner again. And Bella, in front of you, is sitting a key.
Exciting.
So, Valen, as you take a second, you see two large Kenku dragging in a strange, hunched over looking vulture creature, and proceeds to simply stand him in the corner.
Now, I did ask for his motivations, so I don't have to torture him and go through all that steps.
Odette, in front of you, there's a sword. It's sitting there glowing. It's made of dark steel or dark onyx, maybe. But it's simply glowing with shadow. Waiting for you to pick it up. Itzel, nothing happens directly with you. But you feel a sense of ease as your thoughts drift towards the future. And what felt like a unwinnable fight against Zangi and his armies just shifted a bit. Future looks a little more optimistic. Oh, Odette, what do you do?
Odette breaks the other bullet. No, I'm kidding. Breaks her own weapon. She picks up the onyx blade, and it has like an almost like pearlescent like cast to it. And she like takes like a step away from like everybody else in the room. Um, I forget there's a move. It's called like I think it's in stage combat. I think it's called like the true point or something like that. It's essentially where like the point of the blade leads you and you follow through like after it. She tries like that with it.
As you lunge with this weapon to test out its balance, it moves with supreme balance and grace. It is very light, but you sense the amount of just power that's been invested into this weapon. And as you try a few more swings to move it around, the rest of you start to see little bits of little wreaths of shadow. Have a good night. Little wreaths of shadow start to form around Odette. And as you perform a dancing leap thrust, right? As a final test of this balance. The rest of you see, and Odette, you feel it. These shadowy raven wings glide you across the floor. And then as you land, they disappear back into the sword.
She feels powerful. I think she says as much. She says, "This is astonishing. Thank you. This will save lives." Does this mean, I'm assuming through a roundabout way, the Book of Shadows is an object from your world?
It is.
That is how I get my power. Are you offering me this as a way to cut out the middleman, as it were?
No one flies the banners for books.
I see.
If there's a banner of power you wish to literally fly under,
Thank you.
that is offered to you.
I must think on this, but thank you so much. This is more than I could have hoped for.
Valen, to answer your question, now, this is the person who took your friends. And I believe that gesture would get them back into my good graces. And to their credit, it soothed some wounds, but when I learned more about where they came from, I was less impressed. Now, due to history, I certainly won't let him be simply executed. If that's your desire. But if he falls in a fight, he had a fair chance.
Valen says, I welcome the opportunity. Just give the man a blade and stand him up.
Heck yeah. Bella, you have this key to this book.
Hell yeah, let's open it.
You put the key in, and you feel a surge of magical energy. Open the book, and there is it looks like a handwritten note, almost in shadowy calligraphy, on just tucked into the first page. It says, "The mind is a container and can only hold so much knowledge. Where new knowledge is entered, old knowledge must leave."
Channel plan. Lisa needs braces.
The contents of a life
Hello, Joe.
the contents of a life and the memories of living should not be split between two minds.
What does that mean, split between two minds?
Roll insider investigation if you like. As you're like reading this note, like, what the hell is this? This is insanely cryptic.
I feel like Bella's the one that would probably know the best, though.
And I do have an item that gives me advantage on insight, so. That is going to be a dirty 20.
Okay, I'm going to ask you, what do you think it means?
I suspect it's that Gray is holding the rest of Bella's memories, is basically what it's supposed to mean. That he is the other mind in this equation. I suppose it's the possibility that technically Gray and Bella are the same person and not twins, as Bella has been led to believe.
What this book does on a dirty 20. As of right now, the empty spaces in Bella's past allow for someone to occupy that same space.
Oh.
This book can be used to separate yourself from Gray.
Oh.
New patron.
Well, but that would cause Gray to die. Because Gray only exists currently in
Just
Bella.
put him in one of the tube bodies or a little snail shell somewhere. Whatever.
If he's telling the truth.
Yeah, he has lied to you.
What? You think Gray would just come out here and lie to Bella? Who would do that?
Well,
Also, we're in a palace of memories. Like,
Yeah. Put him in a little
Couldn't-
crystal and carry him around.
like,
You
or
can check in on him every now and then.
yeah, like that room that you were in before looks like a really nice prison cell for a while.
Okay,
He can
but,
watch
like,
what's happening on the
also-
tapestry.
I also get like powers and shit from him,
Mhm.
guys. He's helpful sometimes.
I will tell you the mechanical piece of this, right? It is pretty straightforward. If you sit down and read this book, you'll be able to pull back all of Bella's actual memories.
Oh, nice.
Right? That will do one of two things, right? It will not leave any more room for Gray. Actually, one of three things. You don't have to change anything if you don't want to, but it would also allow you to fully invest either all your levels into Sorcerer as you regain all your Sorcerer knowledge, or invest all your levels into Warlock with the Raven Queen as your patron.
Ooh.
But she can't multi-class anymore?
She could say the same if she wanted to.
Okay.
But those are the two big choice options that came from it. Because mechanically, if you like the build, I get it. But narratively speaking, those two options make a lot of sense. So that's there for you.
Well, this is nerve-wracking.
Yeah. Hey, what happened was you brought a featherweight to a heavyweight memory champion. And Gray's very powerful. But the Raven Queen's specialized.
Yeah.
So that's a possibility. I lost my
I will
page.
not be making a decision at this moment.
you don't have
she's
to.
going to like close the book and be like, "That's we'll deal with that later."
You say to the Nagpa, throw him a sword, I'll go. And one of the Kenkus simply returns his staff with the skull and the horns on it. And it looks over at you, looks at the Raven Queen, and says, "Oh, dude, this is all a gift for you." And she says, "I've regifted." And then he looks back at Valen and goes, "All right, let's do this." What I will say is I will pause that fight until next session.
I was going to say, if you want to roll this out, that's fine. Or we could just say that Ballad beats the crap out of the guy. But
no, these things are actually pretty damn strong.
Also, they gave it its
very
staff
nice.
back.
Yes.
Not like a weapon. They gave it its thing.
Its staff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
First thing we have to do is break that down.
Yep.
Yeah. So
I assumed it was Valen was one-on-one. I
Yeah,
assumed this was
that's-
Anybody wants to
this
join
is
in?
This is Valen's deal. Like, let him deal.
Where are the dancers?
I was going to say, Daphne will join in. She'll take my side of this argument.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she would be
you know.
very happy to see her savior and also kick ass with him.
the Raven Queen says, Your dancers are on their way. But I assure you they will be here within the hour.
Odette briefly thinks about, oh no. Joe Gates thought about this. I'm going to say that Odette probably thought about it too. Back to Raven Queen basically runs a museum of memories and immortalizing the arts among other things. I hope she didn't immortalize 3 dancers. That would suck.
That'd be crazy. Be crazy, yeah. Yeah. Immortalizing dancers or just like grabbing up. Anyway, so after everyone gets settled with what they have, right? The Nagpa kind of just being held by these Kenkus who are like waiting, and the Ravenclaw says, "We're not done here." And he is then with these shadow chains bound into the ground. But you'll have your moment.
Valen would say, we are very happy with the bargains that we have made here today, and I hope that there is no ill will from the decisions that you have made.
I respect your forthright nature. And of course, I respect your patron, right? Had you come in here aggressively, trying to harm me with knowledge you had, this would have been a very different conversation. But all of you are, well, honest, straightforward, and you care. You care deeply about each other. You know, I like a good secret, so I'll tell you one. I spoke with all of you individually. I asked, what are things that, well, each one of you wants beyond Zangi, beyond your missing friends, beyond the scope of massive war and conflict? And the first thing everyone said was, I want to make sure my friends are okay. I admire that.
I knew this was business, Your Grace. And you may think very differently of us younger races. I would like to believe, even if it is only me, that perhaps we have also made a friend today. Because I would count you as one. There's much to be admired in you.
She nods at that.
She knows.
Now, what I'm going to ask administratively, is there any other questions you have?
Well, I was going to
there-
actually say when we finished, as a token of our gratitude for how well this has gone, I would like to offer you one final gift, one final piece of knowledge, and it is the fact that Zangi gave your name to Orcus to bind a pact between the two of them.
It is true.
You see the Raven Queen just stop moving. And one of the shadowy hands clenches and smashes down on the table in front of her. And the whole palace just reverberates with that anger.
Just gonna give her a minute.
And she looks at you, Valen, and says, I know that was not your action or your doing, and that you were not responsible for that interaction that occurred. And so my anger, as you've requested, is not directed at you.
This information we offer as a gift with nothing in return, just because we wanted you to know.
And when we make friendship bracelets, we're making 5.
Just like 6.
Oh my god. My allergies are going nuts over here.
So I see, when I make friends with Necrocory, everyone makes a huge deal out of it. But y'all are making friendship bracelets for the fucking Raven Queen.
Yeah.
And that's just supposed to be like, yeah, after one really good conversation with her, we just think she's really cool and trustworthy.
Yes! We're
'cause
BFFs!
she has
We're pen
tried to
pals
take
now!
over our bodies.
Okay, first
We're
off,
getting brunch tomorrow.
I am going to go back, and you know what?
Probably
You're
not
right.
eggs.
You said... you said it correctly when I said, like, what about all these other cool creatures? And you're like, oh, only the pretty creatures? In this instance, yes, I'm sorry, only pretty creatures are allowed.
Yes.
Even if they're amorphous, elemental, like, concepts of death and secrets.
Yeah.
Who do you want
Only
to bring
pretty
to a party?
creatures allowed.
Who are you bringing to a party who's going to be more delightful?
Necrocory appears and is like, hey, you know what? Like, you like people that give you gifts? Here are gifts. And like proceeds to put like a bunch of chewed femurs that are like blackened with like necrotic energy on the table. It's like, what? I like Sharon. Poof, disappears. Necrocory is a hit at parties.
I bet he would be. Like, it would be just a bunch of, like, a circle of drunk guys going like, this guy's insane.
Yeah, no, I was going to say it's
You guys fucking
exactly
nuts, man!
They're just like, this guy is crazy.
Necrocory is great. I don't know what all of you are talking about.
And he's just chewing on bones. They're like, he's just been watching him for hours.
He's offering to share. That's
Oh.
real friendship.
Mm-hmm. That's true. The Raven Queen didn't offer you any chewed bones to share.
That's true.
She didn't. However, she caught me in a trust fall.
She did.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah, Necrocory hasn't done any trust falls with anybody yet.
And I don't think he will. Yeah.
We're gonna work that in. It's got to come out somehow.
Trust fall, he starts worrying at
But
their
he
neck.
has helped kill our enemies, so...
He has.
That's true. He did help fight a Bone Claw, which was the best enemy you could have sicked him against.
Oh, good God.
Oh God, it's made of bones. What I think I'm gonna do is the Raven Queen calms down from that, but you can tell that one actually really pissed her off, and she says, "Well, if there's no other business to conduct," and looks over at the Nagpa and says, "Perhaps we find a more suiting place to finish this engagement." And waves her hand. The shadows of this room shift and expand into a much larger, well, fighting arena. And she looks over at Valen and says, "He's all yours." The shadowy chains on the Nagpa disappear. He recalls his staff, kind of throws off that ratty purple cloak, and stands up a little straighter and just starts channeling magic. And
Yeah.
I think we'll actually stop there for the night a little early because
That's fair. I put no terms on this fight. There is entirely open season for other people to jump in here.
that is
I
correct.
feel like the phrasing was fair fight, but like that is possibly up for interpretation.
To be fair, when I did the math, a fair fight is 4 of you.
Did we have a long rest?
Oh, okay.
That was actually going to be
Yes, no?
one of my
'Cause I was assuming this was
questions.
meant to be a one-on-one.
Yeah.
The nice rooms that we had where we had this beautiful rest, did it count as a long rest?
I will say yes.
Okay.
Because you've been through a bunch of shit. So
We have.
Yeah.
We have seen some shit.
she guaranteed comfort and rest, so you get a long rest.
Awesome.
So
Best goddamn mangoes. Yep. Okay.
you no like mechanically speaking, like this is not a I'm gonna punch him in the face and feel satisfied. This is a very, very powerful entity.
That's fair.
That the Raven Queen's like, hey, good luck.
Good
Gonna take it
luck.
out.
This
So,
is probably, I believe from what I have inferred, that this creature took out the entire dance company and brought them here.
three of them.
Okay.
But yes, but it also you saw the amount of destruction that was wreathed on like the northern area of the Undying Realms by the Shadowfell portal, and it looked like an army went through there. So,
Okay.
I don't know if I just missed it, but when she was saying like when I learned where he came from, I was less impressed or less inspired or whatever. Did she actually say where he came from?
I think that she was very happy he brought her sacrifices when she found out they were sacrifices that he had gotten that were our friends from Lady Alora's realm.
Sorry, so not so much where he came from, but like that he brought it. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like, hey, I brought you this cool gift. I stole it from your neighbor that you're pretty cool with. What the fuck, dude? You know?
Yeah.
So that's
I brought you a car! It's your next door neighbor's car.
Oh my god. Can you imagine?
I put a bow on it.
You know, that actually should be the next great, I don't know, YouTube or TikTok trend is like you go to your neighbor's house, you take something, and then you just gift it back to them and be like, "Hey, I was thinking of you," and like just wrap their mailbox and give it to them. It would piss a lot of people off. No one should do that.
I have something just like oh, wait a sec.
Wow, a hand carved mailbox with a mallard? That's really cool. What the fuck's my mailbox?
I think it was an episode of Supernatural I actually watched where somebody was going for a date, stops outside her house, picks some flowers, and makes a bundle of flowers and walks up to the door.
I love that bit. I brought you flowers. They're from your garden. Like, no, that went pretty well. You passed all of her tests, and you actually made some pretty solid bargains.
As far as dealing with a god goes, that went as bad as well as ever.
I will tell you, one of the test mechanics that I was looking for when I kept asking people, what is it you want? What is it you want? What is it you want? I wanted to see if anyone was selfish. And shockingly, no one did it.
No.
Like,
I had an extra argument if like she was like, I don't know, it would have been like, look, if we save a bunch of other people, because she's essentially a death god too, if I'm correct, right?
She is. She's a death god in the sense that she oversees the Shadowfell, which is a plane of death. Mm-hmm. Not in the sense of like Nerul, who's like reaping people and harvesting.
Or like Kellenbor, who was like, ordered death.
It's Hades. You got to keep the Underlife running or the Underworld running. Piles of books and stuff. Like,
yeah. Anyway, but my last argument would have been like, look, if all of these people survive this, think of all the secrets that they have. You know, like the more people that are alive, the more secrets and discoveries that can be made, the more that can be collected. So it's in your best interest to promote life.
Yeah, he only wants to get rid of a quarter of the population. Think about the economy. Like, my goodness.
That would cause a backlog. I do like Odette's double down on not just like, because everyone else is like very, very respectful and very much like, no, we're here for a bigger thing, not for ourselves. And Odette was like, we're here for a bigger thing, not just ourselves. Also, how are you? Like, you good? No, seriously, let's talk.
Let's talk.
I was sitting there when Bella was talking. I was like, okay, how would Valid respond to this? Okay, first of all, I'm talking to a god. I represent a god. We should get the formalities out of the way, the pleasantries. Yeah.
No, that went pretty well.
Yeah.
And like, honestly, good deal for the Raven Queen because she got one warlock out of it, maybe a second. Who knows?
Maybe a second.
Right? What a fucking bargain.
So is to look at from a bigger picture? Is Odette signed on to the Raven Queen now?
I would assume so. There is a choice of doing Pact of the Blade rather than Pact of the Tome. Although the Tome, I'm assuming, being a magical item, is still there, essentially, correct?
The book will still be there. I hesitated to answer your question initially because I was like, you might trade the book, and if you trade it, that's gone.
Yeah, that's one.
But
that has given us some really good information, though.
If you had a Hail Mary for like an insane request, like, I don't know, I want to own the city of, I can't think of a crazy dumb thing, but like, if you're like, here's a book, give us some stuff. Like,
I would like to return the general to life. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But so she could remain Pact of the Tome, use the blade, or become full Pact of the Blade. I'm sorry, Pact of the Blade.
It is Pact of the Blade.
I keep on confused. So I am a warlock with the Shadow Blade feature. Why?
Okay.
Hexblade. To me? I'm Hexblade. So it might make sense to become like Pact of the Blade.
You mean you're a rogue with Hexblade or a monk? No.
I am a warlock with Hexblade.
Oh, okay.
Only 3 levels, and it was only to get Dark Vision.
Sure.
I promised Andy that I would do it if I wanted to get that. Then I put in 3 levels, and that's where we are.
Okay.
But I'd have to look at both. But I think essentially she is at least giving up the intermediary and just taking on the Raven Queen as her patron. However, that ends up looking. So,
I always enjoy as a Brandon Sanderson fan and the Stormlight Archives. The Pact of the Blade is essentially a shard blade, which
100%.
makes me feel good.
I think Dr. Boyfriend reads those.
Oh,
they are quite good.
I will say that I gave all of them to Andy so that he could read them too. Brandon Sanderson is my favorite author who is alive today. I love his work. I did, for anybody who did not know, during the quarantine, he wrote 4 books in 2020. I was stuck at home. I decided to write some stories for my wife. Here are 4 books. And he had a Kickstarter where he said, I'm going to give you these 4 books with no information. These are 4 mystery novels that I wrote, and the only thing you know about them is that I wrote them. It was the highest rating Kickstarter of all time. It raised more money than any other Kickstarter ever has.
Damn.
And I dropped entirely too much money on it to get the leather-bound book versions of them, and they're all fantastic. They're absolutely fantastic books. And then his next thing hit my email because they're like, hey, we noticed you like to spend way too much money on Brandon Sanderson stuff. And the next thing that hit
Would
is
you
that
like to spend way too much money on his stuff?
They've releasing the Stormlight Archives books in leather-bound archival versions that are 2 each. Each of them are 2 leather-bound tomes. And I think that he's been releasing previous books as leather-bound tomes for $100 each. And because the Stormlight Archives are 2 books, it's $200 each.
Oh, God.
I was like, man, I really want that. Man, I don't want to spend $200 on one book, but I really, really like these books.
Man, I hope a box of those falls off a truck.
Yeah, basically.
That's what the next Fast and the Furious movie is about, right? The first one was like VCRs. This one's
Stealing books.
leather-bound books.
Leather-bound Stormlight books.
I do have to quickly interrupt.
All the drivers are librarians. Yeah.
Oh my god, that'd be great.
I'd watch that. It's like the Mummy.
Have you guys seen the old Onion video? It's like, like Onion News about like the next Fast and the Furious movie, and they're like, and we have the director right here, and it's a child. I'll put it in the Discord. I've never laughed so hard.
Perfect. Love it.
I'd love to see that. I love that series so much, but I know exactly what I'm there for, which is fast car go zoom.
Yeah.
Like
on board. I am buying what they are selling. And
Yep.
let us be clear about this conversation. Yeah.
everyone's like, let's talk about like the deep philosophical meta behind it. No, I want to watch fast car go zoom, and that's it. Like that's what I'm here for.
What
That's
is the most absurd thing you can think of? Yes.
Yeah. Like we're launching cars into space. Screw it. Let's go. Like
I was playing. If you have not played Cyberpunk Red, which is their new tabletop game, it is very good. I'm doing a game with some friends of mine where we are an ambulance crew that is freelance, and some gang members tried to attack us. And I, as the nomad background, have put a lot of money into this vehicle. And they launched a grappling hook and locked onto my car. And I said, oh no, you don't understand. This is like that scene in Fast and the Furious where they're dragging the safe. They're attached to me now, and I'm going to bounce them off walls.
we've got them. No, I've got you. I got to the space race. It's just Mario Kart with extra steps.
Yeah.
I would pay money to see like the Fast and Furious 10-2 because they did the last one as a two-parter just on Rainbow Road. Like that's the finale. They just get on Rainbow Road and just like start heisting golden stars or coins from the Mario world.
I mean, the music
Perfect.
has to go.
Oh my god.
Right.
100%.
That would be it.
Mhm.
Question: How many are out now? 10?
There were 10, and the number 10 was a two-parter. So the second part has yet to drop. That is supposed to be the end of the series. Jason Momoa is the villain, and it is fantastic because he's just running around doing crazy shit.
I had
The Fast and Furious portion of the Universal Tour ride also is pretty good, considering like what it is. Like, yeah,
That's quite fun.
Joe, I was going to say you should drop that link that you were just talking about into the public Veil Breakers chat so that everyone can see it.
I believe it's there. I was also like, am I allowed to put it in the stream chat or?
It may not like that.
Okay,
you can try.
I think you might have put it in the private Veil Breakers,
Did I put it in
only
the
amongst
private?
us.
Shit. All right, here I got it. Thank you for that catch.
Sure.
All right, enjoy.
All right, so a segue away from the game so we could talk about books and movies. But yes, are we going to finish with the arena
it's
opening?
just full circle. You know,
That was
it's
it.
fine. We
the
started
arena-
with
That was credits.
Yeah,
Fade to black.
the arena opening is the end of session because it would be insane to start doing. It was like 9:47. I'm like, I'm not starting a 4-person fight because it'll take at least 3 rounds to get that thing done. I don't know, maybe less if you smite it to death, but
It also gives us time to update our characters. I guess us shadow gals time to like update our characters if we want to.
Yeah.
now,
Did
the
we
only-
level up from this?
You would level up at the end of this fight. That's about to
Okay,
happen.
fine.
So, but yes, because once you have concluded that the Raven Queen is the next milestone.
I have a feeling that after this fight, it'll feel earned.
Yeah.
If
That's
I
fine.
remember, and I'm thinking back to the second edition version of this. I keep on calling it the Skeksis. What is it called?
The
Skeksis.
same thing.
Same
Yeah,
thing.
that's what I call it. Yeah.
And I was like, those were terrible. I hated them.
A, D, and D. Yeah, that's what I started with.
Now these are.
Valen's going to come out swinging.
You should.
I think I've told you about this before. I found 3 paragraphs for Worshippers of Tempest, and I really enjoyed the third one. It's something I use as an inspiration for him a lot. And part of it is that it's retreat from hopeless fights, but never avoid battle. Slay your foe decisively and halt a battle quickly, rather than rely upon slow attrition or the senseless dragging on of hostilities. If Valen has the option to drop a motherfucker, he will do it.
Darkest Dungeon Protocol.
Yes. If you can drop a motherfucker, do drop a motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Don't toy with
God,
it.
This does too much damage. He has 4 hit points left. I should spread it over. No.
Nope.
You should drop that, man.
Because that little 4 hit point monstrosity will just turn around and crit someone into oblivion.
Wipe your party.
And it's like, what the hell just happened? It's like, yeah. Let him die.
You gave him a window and he crawled through it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Does anybody have any cool things they want to talk about as we're kind of winding up? I know. Oh, actually, I have a cool thing I want to talk about first because I just reminded myself.
This Friday.
This Friday at MagFest, LFTA is doing a panel. We're going to be there. So, be myself and a couple other of the GM/admin crews / it's a whole mix of people now. But we're going to talk about Schrodinger's crit, which is basically rules, how to use them, when to ignore them, how to basically mold a game into a fun experience and not just turn it into, drag out bureaucracy, but also to give good credibility to the rules to maintain structure so no one loses their mind. Right, where that window is, that's different for everybody. But just talking about like techniques to make that work.
How to find that window.
Yeah.
Was it Rule 0 is the game should be fun? Am I making that up?
If it's not, that should be Rule 0.
I'm trying to remember. I thought I heard that from something, but okay.
Because that's
Rule of Cool.
Rule of Cool, sure.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, it's just about how to do that, right? And find that balance between, rules roadblocking people from doing cool shit and also letting the rules go so far away that you've lost to absurdity and there's no longer structure. And that varies from system to system. But that'll be our panel on Friday at 2:30 at MagFest. We're going to also try to stream it. So we'll see how that plays out. But either way, that's what we're doing. That's the big thing coming up.
Will we be able to watch it afterward if it doesn't get streamed? Or
if it doesn't get streamed, we should get the recording and post it on YouTube like we've done previously.
Nice.
Well, but I'd like to.
I'm excited to see it.
It should be fun. I know the first year we did it live and we were able to stream it. The second year they changed something about the tech setup, so we didn't have what we needed to do it, so we get the audio for it. But we're gonna try and do that live.
Nice.
So, but yeah. What else? Anyone else want to talk about cool stuff going on?
I'll briefly say, hi, I'm Joe Gates. I'm from Philadelphia. I do Ren fairs and comedy and improv and Shakespeare and all sorts of stuff. If you want to see me do improv live, great news. The Incantation, it's basically a spooky herald if you're familiar with improv forms. It's 30 minutes of spooky stuff. We got extended. This past Friday was supposed to be the end of the season, and people like us so much, and the theater likes us so much that we got an extended run. So you can see us first and second Friday of every month. So you just missed us, but next month we'll be back on. And if you want to follow at Comedy Show Gates on Instagram or Facebook. I can basically post. It's basically post of this and that, and that's about it. But you can keep up to date with that. So.
Love it.
Nice. Is that related to the Scary Mofos, or is this separate?
No. Unfortunately, so the Scary Mofos is unofficially, the most popular and awesome improv group in Philadelphia. It's also actually the most intimidating improv group in the world, if you can believe it.
What?
We were going to have a show last Saturday. Unfortunately, illness, injury, and the weather kind of the fates were kind of set against us. But I will keep you up to date on that. If you want to follow at Scary Mofos on Instagram or Facebook, the next show, which might come up sooner than you think, but no promises, you can check that out. So just watch that space. You can also just see crazy pictures of just a bunch of sleeveless people acting really tough with eyeliner on. That's basically
perfect.
it.
I need to get up to Philly to see you guys. My sister lives in Pennsylvania, and I keep visiting her family and then being like, I should go up to Philly and see Joe. But
Yeah, when that
one of
happens,
these
I
days.
feel slightly lonely for a second.
Oh
I
no!
couldn't explain why until now.
Oh,
You know,
the show's definitely worth it. They're a lot of fun. But
I will throw out one thing. It is not really an online thing, but if anybody would like to wish us luck, me and a friend of mine are actually going to be joining an axe throwing league starting
Oh.
on Wednesday, where we will be competing in, I believe, 6 weeks of multiple elimination. I don't know how it works, but we've done it there before, and it should be fun. So feel free to join us in Discord and wish us luck. I will post pictures and let you know how we do.
heck yeah!
Have you decorated your axe yet?
Not yet. I did. We argued a lot over the name of our group, and I believe we settled on Axe Gang, which was, I mean,
Quality.
we probably could have done better, but yeah, it's
It's a
throwback
classic.
to an amazing movie,
Yeah. So we're gonna watch Blade Runner and Axe Gang or Kung Fu Hustle
Kung Fu Hustle.
as our next community night. Nah,
Perfect.
Love
That's
it.
not. All right.
Inside joke night. Yeah.
Well, with that all said, yeah, we got more games coming up. We're back on the schedule. Check out the Twitch channel if you want to know what's up. I'll be back. Actually, Rouge and I will both be back on Wednesday to do Cryptic Community College, and then Thursday I'm running my heist game with a whole different group of fun nerds. So, but that should be a blast as well. Anyway, we're gonna go raid the Forgotten Troop. They're hanging out playing. Not listed,
Yeah,
but it looks
no,
like a
that was through the
TTRPG.
thing.
And we're gonna just go over, say hi, and yeah, throw them a follow or just say hello, and then enjoy the rest of your evening. But for those of you who donated and hung out, thanks for watching, thanks for following, thanks for